many other many other commissions have 7 or 8 commissions have been happened before. So we had incremental changes in many times in time, but now because the new knowledge economy in place and digital revolution has happened, that AI is taking over. So this is very important that we are looking at a complete revamp, which is actually looking towards making our new generation capable of the aspirations of the 20th century. So the new world, we whatever we were doing 20 years before, it is completely outdated now, because many things which we used to call as skill is no more skill now, because of those things can be easily done by computer or AI. It is taken care of. So if you look at I'm just coming because I'm sure many of you have already discussed NEP in detail. So the idea is actually to create a new education system. Okay, so reforms across the stages from the beginning to the top and PhD, from LKG to PhD is what the whole reformation is agreeing. And a complete revamp of curriculum is also required. So, and one of the biggest trouble now we are looking at the rote learning. Actually, you by heart and your exam system is completely redundant. Many other countries have last I'll show you a list of countries who have actually adopted this kind of systems, and so the assessment, we are not looking at overall development of the child. We are looking at how much they could mug up, how much they could buy heart, all those things are now happening. And so, but the new things like AI, and design thinking, holistic health, and now we are very much aware about the environment. All those things actually needs a new thing. So if you look at it, in a crux, the pedagogy looks at it should be holistic, it should be enjoyable, it should be learner-centered, multidisciplinary, experiential, inquiry-driven, discovery-oriented, activity-based, and flexible. So these are the vision of NEP actually. So what are the skill sets and skill and knowledge that we are looking at it of 20th century skills? Critical thinking, problem solving ability, creativity, innovation, collaboration, digital literacy, multicultural knowledge, and being a global citizen. That's what. So when we in this context, when you look at it, what is industry demanding? Actually nowadays, we always used to say that when what did British education contribute? British education wanted to build a lot of clerks. They wanted to do all calculations and addition, and of the management. So whole education system was focused towards that actually. Now, what is the new industry thing? Because we are in a global scenario. What is the new education system? What is the requirement of it? Which is primarily problem solving skills, hands-on technical competence, strong work ethics and cultural flexibility, and one has to be a lifelong learner. The learning doesn't end compared to earlier time when you say your study is finished. So most industry nowadays ask for the ability to use the available tools. So they emphasize on skill, but the gap is academics cannot go without understanding the fundamentals. So academics focus on analysis. So now our real question is, how do we do the balance actually? Because this is always a conflict which is happening nowadays. And if you look at the Edgar Dale's cone of experience, this is the learning theory when we are looking at actually. Because whatever you read it, if you look at the orange line, that is what we call the passive learning: reading, hearing, seeing, watching a movie or something like that. But after 2 weeks, the experiment has proved that after 2 weeks, what you remember is if you read something, after you will remember only 10% of what you read actually. But if you experience something, your real life experience, it is you don't forget. It is 90 to 100%. So that is what we call the active learning. We have new studies saying that VR experiences are also almost equal to 80 to 90% of things people remember. We ourselves have in the design department, we have conducted some experiment, so in this context only, I want to bring this design education. So design education is, compared to all other education system, design education is it's a new discipline, especially in India. It came after independence in the 1960s only. It started actually, NID and IDC and all started. So we are much younger, but at the same time, if you look at the design education as a curriculum, we can go back to Bauhaus in 1920s onwards. So learning to design and designing to learn will prepare students for the demand of the innovation age. This is a new saying actually. When we look at design education, what are we practicing currently? We do all our design courses are project based, learning centered. We actually look at problem based learning and inquiry driven. And skills and knowledge are interdisciplinary, and creativity and innovation, critical thinking, multicultural knowledge. These are what we are focusing already. So you can see how closely it is actually mapping with that NEP's vision. No, and when I'm mapping it actually. And when we look at design teaching also, you can see whatever NEP is saying in the class 10, 11, and 11.8 and all, we are already doing it actually. The students get hands-on experience. They learn by doing it actually. Learning by doing is one of the fundamentals of design education. And encourage design to develop experiments, just not doing step by step. We allow them to do and explore. We allow them to make mistakes. We help them, to solve problems and learning from the field, and that is very important. And we always bring in real life examples. And we always promote interdisciplinary, multidisciplinary, cross-disciplinary, transdisciplinary learning actually. And we always emphasize on problem solving and we look at practical problems and we so-called weaker problems what we are talking about. So, and this actually to build a confidence with the industry, all our projects, like say for example, our graduation project, we encourage the student to do it from the industry. So, and until and unless they have some dream project they want to do on their own, we always allow them to do that. So they have both the options. If somebody is very passionate about something, they can do it. Otherwise, they are always free to do from the industry. So teaching experts, we have this experts coming. Industry lecture series is a very, very important aspect of design learning. And when we are teaching also, though we have not formalized it, we always believe in group teaching. There will be multiple teachers in the class so that the learning is enhanced. And we always allow our PhD students to be part of our teaching assistantship and be in the class to support us as well as support the students. And we don't go by the quantity. We look at quality as a primary. So the best results, because many like I used to give this as an example in my previous organization, NID. Earlier, there were only 3 grades. One is complete, incomplete, and repeat. Complete means you have learned properly. Incomplete means there are some things are missing, so which can be compensated by a little bit of extra assignments. Repeat means I will do it again. And research is interwoven in the teaching, and research is interwoven into the practice, so that there is no hierarchy between the two, or they have given equal weightage actually. Now, when we look at it, there is a big gap because design education starts at a higher level in the school. It is not there in the schools. But we are proposing from the design department, we are actually proposing design education in the schools. And in fact, government as part of NEP already implemented design thinking in the schools. And we are also proposing many other design fundamentals so that they are actually trained. So there are a lot of online education platform. And now we have to, if you want to implement design education in schools, we have to adopt this teaching learning methodology. We have to approach this multidisciplinary and holistic education. And we have to redefine the definition of a teacher itself. Okay, and we have to redefine the classroom itself. It is not a room where all the students sit together. It's the whole experience that we have to rebuild actually. So we have done a case study. That is one of them. We have done 3-4 experiments. Actually, we have done introduced form design in the curriculum, and then in the classroom, when you're looking at it, it has improved. Our results prove that It enhances teamwork abilities. It enhances the multidisciplinary skills. It also enhances cross-cultural sensitivity. And apart from the subject we are taught, actually. So I just wanted to bring little bit of background to this. So what are the education reforms happened so far, actually? These are the 1952, there was a secondary education commission, 64 Kotari commission, 76, there's a constitutional amendment, national policy. This before this NEP 86, there's a national policy happened. And then in 2000 and 2008, there was a scheme. And in 2009, there is Rashtriya Madhyamik Shiksha Abhiyan. Then 2009, the Right to Education Act also came. Now this NEP is coming. So in worldwide, if you look at it in Australia, Finland, England, Zimbabwe, Turkey, Singapore, and USA, you can see this reforms already started. Like NEP is heavily borrowed from many of these countries' new policies. So it is actually at par with global standards of today. But we are not lagging behind. We also have Indian initiatives. National design policy has started, and a design education quality mark in 2007 it started. Then there are 20 design innovation centers and 60 spokes started by the. There's a knowledge network started. There is Open Design School. Then National Design Innovation Network. Then Design Manifesto was released in 2014. Design Thinking and Innovation Curriculum already started in 7 and 8. So these are, I just wanted to bring this very briefly because my time is given 10 minutes. So I think I can stop here and I can take questions if you want, So I think this is.
Thank you, Doctor, especially for your talk on multidisciplinary education and for impressing upon us the importance of design and innovation. I would now like to invite on stage Dr. Vivek Pirampali, co-founder of Inquilab Foundation. Mr. Vivek is a social entrepreneur and runs Inquilab, which focuses on nurturing social innovation and civic potential. He also has more than a decade of experience working in the education sector and has been instrumental in leading state and national level projects in collaboration with the government. Mr. Vivek, over to you.
Thank you so much and good afternoon, everyone. Just before I get started, I would just like to get a pulse of the room. If you are a student, can you quickly stand up and you can get seated? If you are a student, can you quickly stand up? All the students in the room. Okay, this is also an exercise so that you don't sleep while I talk. Yeah, you can get seated. If you are a teacher, can you quickly raise your hand? Okay, if you are neither a teacher or a student, can you quickly clap? Thank you everyone. So I'm Vivek Pirampali. I'm representing Inquilab Foundation here. I need help in getting the right. So, but as Matthew sir was mentioning, and that is the work that we are currently doing as part of Inquilab Foundation. And thank you for setting the stage so beautifully, sir, and covering most of the points that NEP or even OECD and other education agencies are actively advocating for. And it's great to see that how you are actually contributing to even the design thinking or the design policy within the country. I mean, very insightful to learn that. So it helps. So. It's on the desktop. Which one?
One second, I'll just stop. Stay on desktop. This one.
Yeah.
Okay, so sorry.
Yeah, cool. Thank you. I mean, as some of the points are already covered by Matthew sir and even Rajiv sir, right? So there is a employability issue, there is a skilling issue, and there is a even the issue of purpose or like the life skills itself or the value thing. While everybody recognizes that, and there is a lot of findings, research which are going on actively, inactively across the world, and also within India very actively. So our foundation or the organization that I work with has a very clear direction, right? Like how Matthew sir was pointing out, design was a very kind of privileged subject or was restricted to certain percentage of the population, while it seems to be a key lever that can transform the entire education and also individuals. So how do we take that to the schools, right? It is happening in design schools, it is happening in universities. While we are all saying that, and as Rajiv sir was also pointing out, the issue is not in the higher education system. The issue is beginning right in the primary and the school education system. And since we are not repairing it there, we are trying to mitigate it somewhere else. So that is how we began, and way before education policy, we have started it as a project way back in 2017 and have been experimenting or piloting different programs on how do we develop problem solving skills, how do we work at the grassroots with government schools, social welfare, tribal welfare, residential schools, and take these skills and make it relevant to the context of the school and the community that they live in. So that is what we have been trying to do from the last 4 5 years. And there are many stories, right? As innovations are not restricted to universities or colleges like IITs, NIDs, or even say topmost corporates. Grassroots innovations exist. A lot of people and even a lot of students in this room will have a lot of ideas, creativity also. And one such story is Abhishek. When we went to him and asked, like, we did a design thinking workshop kind of thing and made him visit a community and asked him, what would you do? Then they followed the design process again, a very intuitive way. And the beauty of design thinking or design process is it intuitive, it is very natural to human beings, where we identify or recognize or empathize with certain problem. So Abhishek's story was very simple, right? He lives in a village where he goes to a government school there, and the economy is depend on the cotton. So one problem that he identified was like, one, while plucking the cotton, it is generally difficult to pluck from the direct hand. And the other thing he identified was the farmers couldn't carry it and do multitasking at the same time. So it's a simple problem, very contextual to their community. While all of us see many problems and all, it's the same way Abhishek has pointed one of the problem. But he didn't stop there. Once he identified that, he went, as a process, he went there, he spoke to the farmers and came up with a kind of like a he calls it MBA, multi-purpose agriculture bag. Okay. Which kind of helps them to as a pesticide thing to carry the cotton, to plug the cotton, or to use it in multiple ways. So that is what his idea was. And this is just one such student, but there are hundreds and thousands of such students and bubbling with ideas each and every day. So that's our vision. That has been our vision. Like, how do we build problem solving capacity in the children, and how do we empower individuals, enable entrepreneurship skills, innovation skills, and change making skills, especially, and how do we transform communities and individuals. So we did try different methods, like has Matthew sir also pointed and some of you also pointed out, right? We have made a curriculum based on the design process and tried to integrate within the grades 6, 7, 8, and 9 in the government schools. We focused only on the government schools because we wanted to create a solution that can scale up or benefit the grassroots and stick to the grassroots and apply it there. So we have, so it's a simple three phase, where the first phase is more on the fundamental skilling or the capacity building of the students, while we also focus on the system. Because while we work, what we have realized is, like, in the initial 2-3 years, it was just us, right? We were working surely out of passion, because I was a teacher, my team are a group of teachers who worked in government schools, and we identified it as a problem. I'm not a design expert. Okay, now we have a team of design experts, but it was a basic observation or the empathy, if I can talk in the design language, and the problem or the root cause that we identified in the classrooms. And having said that, while we work at the student level, we also understood that there is an entire ecosystem. Change happens both at an individual level and also at an ecosystem level. So we started working with the governments, uh, and we also, I mean, right now, what we have done is scaling up to 5 states, along with Telangana, kind of looking into. Matthew sir, you might be interested in this. Telangana is looking to incorporate as a curriculum and launch it as the national mandate. Telangana is also looking for something around that.
Great.
Again, it's a simple thing. We are focusing on these skills, which are, I mean, different people call as 21st century skills, education 4.0, okay, or the new age skills. Design thinking, prototyping, risk taking, or like how do we engage active learning to the classroom, and that's the process. So we have a 2-year curriculum, I mean, a leveled curriculum, which we kind of tested in the schools. More than 6,000 students have gone through, and there is also a tech-based solution, which is mostly for the advocacy and awareness that we did. Trained 5,000 plus teachers on the design thinking curriculum. It is very challenging, but I think we are right now at a very good phase and very initial phase. We are taking the step zero at this point as a country and as individuals or as an organizations also towards this transformative educational journey. So while we also realize that it is not just about children, right? Right now, the youth, young people, it is relevant across the ages. So we have started exploring a change maker fellowships for the youth involving young people, where 11,000 and more young people from ITIs, government diploma colleges, have participated in this, and they were coming with a lot of activities, which led to also formation of YHub Telangana, if you might have heard of it, where the government is willing to invest and support these young people and continue their innovation journeys in this. As I said, I mean, I'll close it here, but I have something else also to do. So the idea is, like, how do we nurture innovators, entrepreneurs, or change makers, while employability is a skill or a requirement, and the countries, or say as a nation, ability to create employment is very less. Okay, so as students, as teachers, or as individuals and organizations, how do we also nurture job creators? How do we also nurture innovations or new technologies? Okay, and how do we create more opportunities while we also get skilled to access opportunities will become very critical. And with that, I'll end with this quote, which Abdul Kalam sir himself has told, right? This is relevant. I mean, this quote is pointed towards children, but I think it's relevant to all of us as individuals, right? We all are unique in our own way, and how do we kind of get this potential out of us, and what do we create out of that, is what our purpose. And one of my mentors said, right, purpose is not just about the passion, okay, purpose plus profit is what your passion needs to be, right? So while you follow your passion, also you need to be creating pathways to become successful and enjoy that success in your journey. That's it. Thank you. Do I have time? How much time do I have? No, I just wanted to play a video if I can. Can you help me? I need you to, if you can play this video. Unless you can maybe stop share. I mean, nothing. I just wanted to show you all a small video, maybe relevant to the students, right? So there was a conference in Tamil Nadu, if I'm not wrong, where like one of the grade 10 students asked Abdul Kalam, what is your success mantra? And he replies with clear 4 words. He asked the students to take a vote, saying that I will have a great game, I will work hard.
Which one?
I forgot the last thing.
What video?
I will continuously acquire knowledge. I will persevere and become successful. I just wanted to show that video and end that. But yeah, I think.
What's the video? It's on YouTube.
Just go there. This one. Will they be able to hear that? No, not on the Zoom. If the audience can hear, that's fine.
I think there's no audio.
Oh, okay, fine. Sorry.
Screen share is screen share. In the Zoom, we have to share. Go back to Zoom meetings.
Share sound.
Share with.
Share sound.
Acquire knowledge.
Oh, I will do hard
Here it
work.
is not.
I will do
That
hard
is the
work.
problem.
I will persevere
I will persevere
and succeed.
and succeed.
Okay, that's the mantra.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Yeah, I think. I mean, we can look at the video later. But the twist, at least for the students, is like have great aim is what we consistently have been saying, and everything starts with a dream.
Good evening,
And
sir.
there is nobody who can dream better than
Which class
you
you are
all
studying?
people, you all young people. So wish you all the best and good to meet all of you here. Thank you. I think it's fine.
Thank you, Dr. Vivek, for talking about your work with educating youth and for sharing with us different modes of inspiring innovation among youth. Thank you once again. I would now like to call to the stage Mr. Manav Subodh, the founder of 1M1B and global ambassador from UC Berkeley. And Mr. Subodh is an entrepreneur and global ambassador. He started 1M1B 1 million for 1 billion, which is a UN accredited organization. His area of focus includes sustainable villages, entrepreneurship, digital creativity, cybersecurity, and AI for good. He has also been featured in Forbes, BBC, TEDx, and others, and Mr. Subodh is now piloting the Purpose Academy program. I'll hand it off to you.
Thank you, Namaste, and thank you, everyone. Thank you. Such an honor and pleasure to be here. I'm sorry I could not join in person, so I had to be online. I would have really liked to be there, but unfortunately could not do that. But thank you for the invitation and allowing me to speak on something that I'm deeply passionate about, which is jobs and skilling for the future. So I have a short presentation and I would like to talk about that. And this is an interesting project that I'm working on building the metaverse for education and skilling for India. So I'm fortunate enough to be involved in a massive project with the government where we are developing the metaverse for education. And I would like to share some of those points with you and probably invite your feedback. So let me just pull up my presentation. Okay. Okay. Can you see all that? See my presentation? Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Matthew. Okay. So I'm going to talk about the metaverse, right? And this is a project I'm like deeply passionate with, and with the Ministry of Skills and Ministry of Education got involved in that. And in fact, Dr. Matthew talked about the National Education Policy, NEP 2020. And this is strongly aligned to NEP 2020. And we are working with the regulators, specifically CBSE and AICTE, in developing the metaverse for skilling and education. And I'll tell you why. But before I tell you why, and you must ask the why every time, right? To all the students out there, right? I would like to ask a question for to people in the room. Whatever job you are doing, and students, this is not a question for you. I don't see how many students are there, but this is a question for you to ask anybody that you meet today or tomorrow or in future. The question really is, all the people in the audience, how did you get into the job that you have got into right now, right? How did you land up doing whatever you're doing right now? I'm sure you're getting paid for it. How did you land up doing it? I'm sure you're passionate about it. How did you land up doing it? And I see possibly three outcomes. And of course, there are many, but let me tell you the three broader reasons. Why? One is you got the right education, which you were very passionate about, and you have followed that path, and you're doing that. Education has translated that education into a job opportunity, and you're doing that. You could be a lawyer, you could be a doctor, you could be a coder, engineer, where your education has been a foundation for whatever you're doing. The second category could be you've done your education in whatever, but you are trapped. You're doing it, though you don't love it, but you're doing it because it pays the bill. It takes care of your family, it takes care of your expenses, right? And you're doing it, right? Because your education gave you that opportunity and you got a job, but you don't really feel it, you don't love it, it's not purposeful, but you can't give up because there's a big money coming from there. And that's a lot of people, by the way, right? And third, you could be a person who's done something in education and now are doing something to do with jobs, which is completely unrelated to education or whatever you did in your bachelor's or your master's or even PhDs. Because you found something more purposeful. You found something that you are really passionate about, right? And believe me, today there are a lot of people who are doing that. I'm one of them, by the way, right? I'm an engineer MBA by education, and the work that I'm doing is not related as much to the job I'm doing. And if you ask the third category of people, how did you land up doing something which is not related to your education at all? You would probably get an answer that I landed up doing something and I got very fond of it. And that's something Dr. Matthew talked about, right? In the pyramid, 90% of people learn by doing. And a lot of jobs are now coming to a lot of new jobs are coming to our realm because you do it. I mean, one of the top jobs that every student young wants to do is become a YouTuber. That is the top job. Imagine. There's no education for it, by the way. Right? I don't know if there's a master's degree on how to become a YouTuber or a master's degree on how to become a creator, a vlogger, a radio jockey, and other jobs that are coming up that had not during the 90s, when I was in my university and I was growing up, there were no such jobs available. But how did that job happen? It happened by doing. And those are not taught in the universities. And a lot of future jobs that you will see that are unfolding now have nothing to do with the education system right now. And that is something that we all need to look at, that how people are getting skilled. And is there a relation between skills and education and jobs? Right? And there's a set of people, I have mixed views on it. There's a set of people who even question the university and the school education model. Do we actually need that for doing jobs? I was in Stanford just a week back, and there were a few Stanford students who were questioning, will Stanford degree get us a job? And of course, it'll get us a job. You will get like one of the best jobs, high-paying jobs, but that's not the job that they want to do. So there's a big gap, even at the Stanford level, when people are talking about it, that is the relevance of Stanford education. Right? I mean, there's a big saying in the Silicon Valley that if you want to be a successful entrepreneur, don't go to Harvard. And what does it say? There's a lot of deep meaning in it. And the deep meaning is that most of the people who are getting fantastic education are getting trapped in it and are not able to move out and do something which is more purposeful, which is more meaningful for them. And that is the skill area that we are talking about. And by the way, majority of the successful entrepreneurs in the Silicon Valley, the famous Silicon Valley that everybody talks about, don't have a affluent college degree. Most people. So there is no relationship between now money making and degrees, right? So there is all this confusion that is happening, and we need to really, and the students out there in the session needs to be aware and be present to it. That what am I going to do that is going to get me not just a job, but a meaningful job. Now let's look at India. That's still a very good discussion that all of us in a privileged setting can have. But let's look at India now, the Bharath, right? So 92% of people who are employed in India are in informal jobs. 92%. Informal jobs mean they don't have a provident fund account, they're not on payrolls, they don't have a set income. You know, it's unpredictable, they're on contract.
Yeah, sorry, Mr. Manav, I just wanted to check, are the slides changing? Because
no, not
okay,
right now.
Great, go ahead, sorry.
Yeah. So that is the new world that we are looking at, right? And a lot of these jobs that are coming up require immersive learning, right? And when you're talking about immersive learning and real life learning or learning by doing, how many of us can get that opportunity to do that, especially in a country like India, especially when 65% of India still stays in the villages of India, right? And that's where metaverse can play a big role. And that's why I'm really excited about it, that we can universalize and democratize skilling and education using the metaverse. And I'll briefly talk about it. But, I just wanted to set that context before I dive into the presentation. And the organization that I co-founded in 2014, I used to work in Intel. I did about 17 years of corporate career and then thought that I need to do something else, and 1M1B is what my passion and purpose is. And what I'm doing right now is working on various cutting edge projects with the government to get the discussion of skilling and entrepreneurship and making it mainstream, democratizing that, and creating 1 million young people who will create impact for 1 billion people, the active change makers category. We just don't need people who are getting skilled, but we need people who are also getting skilled and learning problem solving, becoming active change makers, and also contributing to the community. And that's the vision behind the organization. This is a very brief overview of what we have been doing in the past. We have been basically working in the education and the skilling sector, training teachers, training students, doing deep down projects with the students, doing a lot of work in the villages of India, and getting the same education that is available in the big cities also in the villages of India. And of course, we have a fantastic partnership with the United Nations where we take active change makers and active students who have done stellar work and who are representing India and give them a global stage so that they can talk about the good stories of India and how they and young people are changing the world. So we give that opportunity at the United Nations. So that's a brief background about us. So basically what we do is we provide youth and women work opportunities and access to top careers by developing their real problem-solving skills. And the area that we are working on right now is aligned completely to the national education policy, is digital creativity. Creativity in classrooms is key. How do you get creativity in classroom? We're talking about top careers that are emerging, especially around AR, VR, AI. And this is just not to the international schools or the top public schools in Hyderabad or Bangalore, where I am. It is even for the villages of India. We are trying to get AR, VR, and AI education even to the villages of India. And asking the question, why should people in the villages of India just play catch up? Why can't they leapfrog into the future and take skills of the future like AR, VR, and AI? And of course, we are doing work on entrepreneurship. So this is a background on us. And now I'm going to be talking about this massive project that we are doing on metaverse and why this is really important from our country's perspective. So the metaverse, there's a lot of noise around the metaverse, right? People are talking about it. People are saying it's good, it's bad. But, it became really mainstream when during the Republic Day, this picture is from the tableau that was from the Ministry of Skills and Education. And it was a metaverse tableau that came out during the Republic Day. And this talks about where our country is headed. Definitely metaverse is for real, right? We are talking about a country which has infrastructure issues. Imagine now we can think of making science labs on the metaverse and giving the same science lab access to people in the villages. Right? Metaverse is very exciting for me from an education and skilling perspective, because most of our skilling and education drawbacks are because of infrastructure. Of course, teachers, capacities, form a big part, but infrastructure plays a big part. Imagine if you have to work for a BMW factory or a Maruti factory. How would you do that if you're in a tier 2, tier 3 city, or if worse, in the villages of India? Can there be an immersive learning experience that can be made available to students using AR, VR technology, a VR headset? And can that be made available? Can we democratize that the way we have done to our phones today? Since everybody has phone, can we reduce the cost of the VR headset and make these virtual learning experiences available to many citizens in our country? And that's the dream that I'm working with the Ministry of Education right now.
Yeah, Dr. Mano, last 1 or 2 minutes.
Sure. So very briefly, since we don't have too much time, and I can take it up later in terms of questions in case required. But what we are doing is we are creating skilling program, we are creating access programs, we are doing collaborative learning experiments, and we are really training the teachers so that they can reinforce with hands-on activities and get excitement into the classrooms using metaverse and AR, VR. And I'll just conclude with this slide that the idea really in the next 2 years, we are already halfway into the project, so it's 1.5 years now, like 3-year project. We have talking about 1.5 to 2 years. We are actually enabling about 10 million students and 1 million educators on the metaverse. And with the dream that we will universalize education and create the AR, VR developer and the community of creators who will find jobs of the future and not just play catch up. And this is a big program that I'm honored and privileged to be running with support of Meta itself and CBSE and now AICT, and implementing that in various schools and colleges of India. And hopefully when we get an opportunity next, I'll be able to talk about a lot about some of the results that we have created. But, leaving on that note, immersive learning is key. Metaverse has a potential, but any student out there, make sure you're learning by doing, and that is the best way that you can get skills. And to the educators out there, if we can get immersive learning into our classroom, project-based learning into our classroom, problem-solving skills into our classroom, that will give our students much more preparedness to attain jobs which are not created yet. I mean, 80% of the jobs, according to the National Science Foundation, will be in STEM in the coming future. How as a country we are gearing up for it? So those are some questions that we need to answer, and hopefully we all will do collaborative work and make that happen. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Manav, for sharing your thoughts with us and your work on the role of metaverse in scaling education, along with the relationship between education and careers. I would now like to call on stage Dr. P. Karunakar Reddy, the Managing Trustee of Swashodhan Trust, Social Rural Entrepreneurship. Dr. Karunakar Reddy practiced cardiology for 25 years. In 2014, he retired and started charity work in India. Based on scriptures and his own life experiences, he established the Swashodhan Trust, which aims to spread knowledge to remove the ignorance by holistic dharmic education. On to you, sir.
This one, right? Lead foundation.
While he's adjusting, so I want to thank Abdul Galamji, who made us meet in such a beautiful location where today is the day. I'm so happy that to thank the organizers who worked their head off to make us all meet and bring us in a common platform where our goals are the same. So of providing, good education, jobs, and in society benefits and welfare. So everybody is happy and peaceful and live to a peaceful world. And in making of what we call is Vasudeva Kutumbakam, does it fit appropriate to all of us? You all remember Vasudeva Kutumbakam, isn't it? And I think India is the only country which is doing it.
Yeah.
Well, Michael.
You can.
So Prime is preparing. I thought, okay.
Can use.
So we're ready? Okay. Okay, time is precious. We all know the most precious thing what we have is time, right? And especially for a man with a gray hair. I don't have much of a time. But anyway, I respect everybody's time. So let me jump right to the point. So, Swashodhan, thanks for the introduction, Chitra. So it was so nice. So what we are doing through Swashodhan Trust is social rural entrepreneurship. It's an entrepreneurship, I mean. So here I'm asked to talk about education in relation to what? Jobs, right? Employment. So right away I'm saying it's an entrepreneurship. That means it's a startup where it has got the potential to create so many jobs. So I'm going to show you how many jobs we can create through rural entrepreneurship. And let me start off. All the things, most of the work what we see is being developed where? In urban areas, right? And rural areas are unexplored. It's a rich, cultivable soil. Just put a seed and out of which will come what? Amrut. So having said that, that's about social entrepreneurship now. Let's go to the next slide. So a little bit about my thinking of education, my experiences of education. Education means what it is a mind. Everything is a play of mind. What we are is a mind. Body is an extension of the mind. So what is mind? Mind, what you program. What knowledge you put into the mind is what the mind becomes. So that's what we're all talking about. The content and all the stuff what we are talking about is put into the mind. Under the mind comes what? Programming, processing. The mind processes what information you put in. Very important. What we put into the child's mind is the most important key. And out of which the mind processes. And of processing what comes out of processing of the mind, when we need it, the mind process. And mind puts out like it's like a computer. So when whatever we need, then mind, what is programmed, puts it out. And that is translated into what you call habits, personality, and what you want to become in life and what kind of a job you want to get. That is what I think about education. Anyway, so education what? For what? Why are we reading? Basic question, right? Why? So education is for jobs and livelihood. Why? Why for jobs? Always, I think we should always use the mind. Don't accept anything. All the students also accept. Don't accept somebody says because that's what it is. So question it. Why? So why jobs, livelihood, money and wealth? So now the question is, what is the difference between money and wealth? Money is when you make the money for wants and family needs. That promotes selfishness. Whereas if you think wealth is you earn, where your main focus is society. And who is the best example of that? Here we're meeting on this particular day, somebody mentioned earlier, when Kalamji left, what did he have in his pocket? How much money did he have? Nothing. But he was a wealthy man. So that is the difference between money and wealth. For the children, I think, I didn't understand this till late into life. The difference between money and wealth. That changed my life. Okay. Now, why? Education first. There are two ways of picking up education. One, education first and needs of the society later. The other way is needs of the society first and education later. This will create employability. If you just go for education without understanding the needs, that is just education. And that's what somebody earlier mentioned, that all people are getting educated, but there are no jobs. And I really agree with him. You have jobs, but you have education, but you don't have jobs. That's a danger. Educated mind, uncontrolled, no dharmic mind will create chaos. All these strikes and everything, what is happening in the world is because of that. So now what we do? So going back, education later. Needs of the society first, and then you decide about education later. So what branch points do you have where you pick up education later? First, when you join the college, before you join the education system itself. Of course, 10th is too early, 12th is too early. When you join the college, the person should have a vision. This is what I want to do. Bad, because that education is not given. Just they're getting into education because they want to educate. So that is called career counseling and all those stuff, different names, but I'm summarizing it in a single manner. Before joining college, a person should have a vision, clarity. This is what I want to do. And the second thing is, after you join the college also, what field you want to do. Again, go back to this slide. This is jobs. Now I'll show you where the jobs are also. What are the needs, right? So we decided education should be based on what? The needs of the society. So I'm going to show you what the rural needs are as I go down the slides. Okay, so just I'm focusing on this. I have made a list of things where I need all these people to cooperate, and this is in the health field. Health is one of the important things which people are missing. I stayed in the villages. There is a person who walks into my clinic with a blood sugar of 521. This is in a village. And there's a gentleman who walks into my clinic with a blood pressure of 240. Imagine these people, what will happen if you don't provide the health. There'll be a big tsunami of health problems and this country cannot handle it. Imagine the consequences of it. Not only family misery, financially we cannot offer. It's so bad. I'm not sure how many people have visited the villages. I stayed in the village. A particular person, a young man who gets sick, a stroke, he is damaged, his family is damaged, the village is damaged. So bad. So that's the reason I was focusing on. These are some of the things which I need. Young entrepreneurs are here. This is what I want to talk to IIT people. We need all these tests. And if they can provide, if they can do this, not only they'll be entrepreneurs, they will make money. Trust me on this. But they will be helping the society because you're taking care of the needs of the people. This is the reason, very important. I'm just putting a few points. You can go through it later. I have posted this presentation in EDU-TECH. You can always look at it. So this is simple, very important, very simple. And this is some of the diagnostic equipment. Since being a doctor, so I'm focusing on this first because this is an acute problem. Second, why villages? So we already discussed about it, but the important point what we need to think about is most of the development is happening in where? Urban areas, right? These are unexplored, so I would prefer. And there are how many villages? So another important thing is how many villages are there? 1 million villages. And then third thing is internet is going everywhere. So we need to have a technology where low speed, but still we can do digital things in the villages. So that's one of the important things IT people should work on, where the internet speed is low, but still we should be able to push all the material what we want to do into the villages. That's one of the important problems we're going to face is lack of internet. You can't do any digital connections without internet. Now, okay. Now, what is the scope of it? What is the aim of not only mine? This is what I put it here. Oh, in that corner, it is covered. Here in the back of the thing here is called Pura, right? P-U-R-A. So what is it? That's what Abdul Kalam's slogan is, right? What is it? Providing urban amenities. What is it? Providing urban amenities in rural areas, right? Is that correct? So how can we do it? So how we're going to do it is making a self-sufficient village. Self-sufficient and self-sustaining. We're all talking about self-sufficient. I have a model. This is not a presentation anymore. This is a working model we're doing on the ground. So let me make it very clear. So we're working hard to make this happen, and I'm so happy I'm joining so many beautiful people here, which will make this quick. Otherwise, it'll take a lot of time. So this is going back, this is what we want. Self-sufficient, self-sustaining village means providing all the urban amenities in the rural areas. So how are we going to do it? We are doing it already by opening up the digital highways. Instead of what we are calling as, there are two ways of connecting the city. One is physically, village to the city is what? Physical ways, right? And the other ways is, thanks to this modern technology what we have, we connect the villages using digital highways. And we can't wait for 5G. So beautiful. And then, so, what happened?
It doesn't work.
So maybe it's time to meditate a little bit. Meditate what? It's so beautiful. Meditation quietens the mind, right? You're so anxious. Oh, when does it happen? When does it happen, right? If I get stressed, what will I do to you all? Hey, it has happened, right? So two ways of approaching it. Either to say it calmly or thinking all, oh my God, what is happening? What is happening? Time is still going. But it is my choice. Either to get stressed or what? Relax, take a smile and make others smile. Is it correct? So that is anyway, just a few things about since we talk about humanity. So we are also working in a project called Dharma Vikas project. So whatever we do, what we do is we do it in a digital manner. It's very important. Whatever we're doing, it's very important to measure the digital interventions. You like to see what outcomes, right? So when the outcomes can be measured by what? Simple things. One, either they are good, one is good, one is bad, and the other is good. Okay.
Maybe make it bigger.
So, the beauty of intervention, what we are doing is it's going to be a digital village where everything is going to be measured, health, jobs, and also education. Everything is going to be measured digitally. So, out of this comes out beautiful. So, people were talking about research. So when are we going to start the research? Why are we being limited? Because we don't have the right data.
Screen number share.
And we are creating the digital village. It's very important for all people, youngsters, to come and join. Otherwise, the data is very, very important. So everything what we are doing is we're going to do it in a research basis. Probably down the line, we'll actually set up a rural research center in the village itself. Where all the now, unfortunately, what happened now, the world is so many sectors have to go. Previously, doctors were not all connected to what? IT, right? Now, IT and doctors cannot separate. The doctor cannot exist without a IT. And IT progress in healthcare without the doctors? No. And we need so many other people, electricity, internet, so many other sources for people. Thank you. Okay. Okay, let me speed up a little bit. So why, at the bottom of the page, why I've written vast employment, and so this is what is the whole talk about, right? How education leads to jobs. So that is the reason why we are working on vast employment and business opportunities. Now how? So this we went over it. So all the services from birth to death should be provided in the village. So what are the requirements of a person from birth to death is? One is education. Very important. So we almost beat it up to death now from morning to discussion. I'll skip it a little bit, but then I'll go to the health aspect of it. Jobs, important. Then all the government resources should be available in the village itself. He doesn't have to go out. And then, of course, even the death should be digital, cremation. What I'm just kidding. Okay, so this is what it is. And then let's go to digital education quickly, real quickly. Again, from Anganwadi to PhD. Anganwadi to PhD, the education should be available in the village itself. Can we do it? Yes. Why not? I'll show you the last picture. If we can do that, we can easily do this. Right? So, futuristic education. Not the old skill ones. Let's do it futuristic. And then again, why? Village, country, all the people will benefit. And socioeconomic potential of making education as an important thing in the village, you can realize how much important it is. It changes what can happen in the village. So digital education, I feel personally that birthright of every child in this India should, from Anganwadi to 10, he should get high quality, free education from Anganwadi to 10. And that should be done digitally. Societies, this is the societies, our primary responsibility. And again, as I mentioned, Jasport, everything should be measured. So again, just a little bit about this, what we are doing. Village teachers everywhere in India, virtual teachers, they can come anywhere from the world to teach the children in the village. Then LMS systems, as I discussed with some of the people, we should make it the rural Byju's. Very important. So Byju's is meant for, and we should make it all around. Content all around education. So we're just discussing about content, a lot of bright ideas. I'm going to take this, I'm going to meet all you people, and we should develop, state syllabus should be set on skill training. This is very important, skill training from 6th to 10th. And that should be a part of government education, 6 to 10. And then of course, very important is computer classes. A child passing from the school, 10th class, should have Microsoft Office, minimum. English and local language, mobile app, so he can go back at home and look at it. And if he doesn't understand any subject, there's no need of tuition, so he can play the mobile app and check at it. So we have done that. A school child's education should include 4 of it. Education through the digital classes. We are doing this in this village, Chipalpalli. Health, yes, we have digital health records where the child is getting health care in the school itself. And then sports grounds are very important. And then digital healthcare, vast employment, business opportunities, what we are doing, the 4 things, right? Self-sustaining. So how are we going to do that is bringing virtual doctors. No doctor is going to go physically to the village. So we're going to bring these doctors virtually here, and then we're going to provide all sorts of things. I'll show you how we do it. This is we started this digital clinic in October of 2020. We have enough experience now. We are going into other villages to set up the same model what we have done. So basically, for people who are not in medical field, so this is a physical clinic where the doctor has to be in the clinic, and this is where a telemedicine clinic is, where this person enters into the electronic health records information. After she enters the information, all the history which is taken, she enters it, all the labs, And then she calls the physician, and here I'm sitting here as a physician, and then I can see the patient, as you can see on my screen, and she's seeing me, and we talk, and if there's anything which we missed, so we enter that data. And then the doctor, of course, once he gets the history, he looks at the electronic health records and takes the history, he makes a diagnosis, and then we do some labs. I'll show you what labs we do. I'll rush through quickly. And then the prescription is generated also. No time. This is the way the prescription is given to the patient. So here, as you know, there's no electronic, no health records of any patient. So when the patient leaves the office, she has got a prescription like this. And this prescription also goes to the patient on the WhatsApp. This we are doing in the rural villages. Trust me, we can do this. And this is the best way. Electronic health records are kept. And then what are the advantages? Of course, nobody is going to come to you unless there's some benefits in it. So I'm going to go by quickly the villagers. What are the benefits for the villagers? High quality, low cost through virtual physicians. And subspecialists are going to come to the village. High quality preventive care. So there's going to be running short. Anyway, so these things are available. You can see physicians, the benefit. They can stay home. They don't have any expenses at all. Financial package, we're also giving the doctors, that's an employment again for the doctors. And then institutions, as you can see, when we go to a government hospital, there's so much of flooding of the things. If we take care of the patients in the village itself, so there's going to be less crowd in the institutions and they can take care of the patients better. And government, we can, since everything is a digital reports, so here the government can make evidence-based allocation of human resources and financial resources. And this is the pharmacy, Pradhan Mantri Jan Aushadhi, where you get high quality, low cost, tested generic medications. At least they are 50% to 90% less when compared with outside generic medicines. So your digital online jobs. So this is, we have already set up this center in Tripalpalli. So there are 15 computers, children are learning Microsoft Online. So this is where I'm planning to interact with you all to set up online and give them quality digital jobs. Digital agriculture is unexplored, but there are plenty of employment and business opportunities. Again, once the people start living in the village, then there'll come physical jobs also. And then buildings and the infrastructure will happen. And this is generally what it costs to set up a digital village. So I've given you this is the setup and that's the monthly charges. And then as I mentioned, the 100 million, so 1 million villages, if you create, so this is it. So everything what we do is digitally reported, and then everything what we do is done on a research basis, and these results are going to be published in national and international journals. And this, you all know, this is a picture of what? Mars. And these pictures are taken by a rover. So if the technology is there, so they can bring in high quality pictures like that, we can easily do what we are planning to do and making a digital village. Thank you very much. Sorry, I took a little bit more time. I apologize.
No problem, sir. No problem. Thank you very much. Though the time is very short for the speaker or any presenter here, we have this is just a beginning, and we continue this journey for until 2030. So we have vast time to connect and work together. I really appreciate and thank you all the speakers so far. Next, over to Chaitra.
Thank you, Dr. Karunakar, for your talk on social rural entrepreneurship and also for mapping out the possibility of self-sustaining villages. I would now like to invite Dr. Jyotsna Ayagari, the president of Prema Pravinya, to speak. Ms. Ayagari is a research and strategy professional who focuses on the BFSI segment. She's also one of the founding partners of NMORE and has led the launch of an online learning management system to provide free comprehensive learning tools for students in remote areas across Telangana. She's the co-founder and director of Pravinya, a company that specializes in growth initiatives in the area of fintech and agritech. I would like to hand it over to you.
Good afternoon, everybody. I know it's late in the evening, tiring, and I'm sure all of you are waiting to wrap it up. So let me do this quickly. It's been amazing. I came in quite late. Okay. So I came in when the metaverse presentation was going on, and what a contrast. The next presentation is about what's happening in rural India. So I think I'm somewhere in between. Okay. I have worked on education, and like my previous speaker mentioned, at the school level, I completely believe that education should be equal, and therefore, Premier Parliament was started. We started about, in 2007, we started with a lot of experiments. And by 2011, we had brought out a learning management system in Telugu vernacular so that we could reach it to rural government schools. Our focus is completely on rural government schools. And by 2014-15, we were able to reach close to about 2,500 government schools, trained over 10,000 teachers. And what we saw is so much of enthusiasm. While we all crib about multiple things, when you actually set out to do things, it's fun. You see that change can be made, and then there are a lot of people who want to see the change coming up. There are a lot of people who want to work with you. Obviously, there'll be 30% people who are cynical about, whether it will work, whether it won't work. But end of it, when you see that 5 lakh, 10 lakh students are able to access the same kind of lessons, the same kind of content, which probably an elite student in an urban center is able to access, I think it's something. I won't say it's success, but it's somewhere a step towards success. 2012 onwards, we started looking at what is happening in the skilling segment. And we try to run a whole lot of programs at the village level. So every summer, we would gather students and say that, you know what, you have 45 days of vacation. So let's try and I would get a huge getting that. I have lots of papers Android. Of course, there are asks. I just refuse to do. But today, I try to mobilize for knowledge, the mobile fun for young or hardcore mechanical stuff. So, there's this balance. Government is doing all that. We're not here to find out what is done. I think lots of initiatives have happened from 2000 onwards. So, I would like to to my talk. Upskilling has to be a state of being. It's not something that can you all hear me? Alright. Upskilling is a state of being. I think soundingly, yes. So the sounding yes to are we upskilling? Of course we are upskilling. Look at the picture. Why just a food vendor? A person I think about this very funny thing where somebody was trying to pass on a 10 rupee note to a beggar and he said, "50 rupees WhatsApp kar do, Google Pay kar do." And I'm not joking. This really happened. So where are we not upskilling? Seriously, we are people who are very agile, very adaptive. we're very smart. And not just we're smart across the board. So when I villages, they can outsmart. Alright, so that is the reality. Payments, we are super smart with payments. Every small shop, including a barber, or you, is using a QR code, a phone pay, Google Pay, and so on. And deliveries across villages also, deliveries are happening, and those of you who follow e-commerce statistics, most of the purchases that are happening on e-commerce sites today are obviously from tier 2, and a lot of them connected by villages also. So vendors from villages are coming on to e-commerce sites. So we are upskilling. There is no doubt. Then where is the problem? So
you can stand here so that online people will not be able to hear if you stand.
oh, okay. But I'm very unstable, I keep moving around. Right. Okay, so for the benefit of those who are watching online and here. So where are the challenges? If we look at the challenges, then we are looking at segmental imbalances, monetary imbalances, social imbalances, and geographic. A lot is being done in each of the areas. For example, if you take 2015-16 statistics, or even earlier than that, there were more engineering colleges than ITIs, right? I mean, what are we doing? We're producing more engineers who will tell what to do, but who's going to do, right? So, therefore, government looked at that, and then number of engineering colleges actually shrank rapidly, like all of you know that. And the other big problem that existed was for somebody to take up a vocational course at the beginning, at the time of decision making, which sir was mentioning. What is the decision making level at the education really? It's post 10th class. How is decision making happening post 10th class? It's where are my friends going? Which is the nearest college? Which is the poshest college, if I can afford it, and so on. So why is that happening? I'll dwell into that a little bit. And what government has provided now is a career path for somebody who goes into ITI, also can go right up to PhD, which is a beautiful career path, which was completely absent in the last few years. That has come up now. There's a beautiful career path. You can join in at a vocational level and skill up, not an issue. And the new education policy focusing on skilling, very nice. So now, despite this, I would like to talk about dimensions of skill enhancement. We keep using the word upskill and reskill in corporate language, right? But upskill, cross-skill, reskill, but where is the skill? I think that's a very big question that we need to answer. When we look at the India Skills 2022 report, we progressed. We're saying 55% of BEs and BTECs are employable. So I will read it on the other side, that 45% are not employable. So where is the skill? So when we talk of upskill, I think the bigger pressure is on getting the basic skill rather than moving or jumping up to upskill. The second thing is cross skill, which, I think Madhav, when he was presenting the metaverse, he mentioned that most of us, we study something and shoot off into something else. And then after a period of 15 years, we do something completely different. It's common story. So it's more, a lot of energy is also going into cross skill. Is it taking us upward? Does it make us upwardly mobile? Yes. So which part of us? It's the top 10 percentile that are able to quickly upskill and cross skill and move upwards. For the rest of us, the question is between reskill and at least have an acceptable level of basic skill. So this is what I was talking about: segmental differences, level differences. At the BE BTech level,
the employability rate has improved from 52 to 55% over a period of 6 years. In the ITI level, it actually dropped 41 to 31%. And in polytechnic level, it increased, but it is still at 21%, which leaves us with 79% people being unemployable. And when I'm talking about unemployable here, I'm not talking about Angrezi. I'm not talking about people who can or can't speak good English. It's about people, do they know their basic skill? If I'm a fitter, can I go and work a lathe machine? If I'm an electrician, do I understand the basic theory of electricity? So what is happening right now, challenge one, is repeat investment of time and money is happening on skilling and not on upskilling, not on cross-skilling. A lot of time that corporates spend when they get freshers, we keep talking to a lot of corporates. Do you have, placements? Because there are a whole lot of kids who don't have jobs. And they say, yeah, send me something. I will train them. I'm quote unquote saying this. We will train them. And when you gather about 100 students and send them there, most of them don't reach there. 8 of them, 9 of them reach there. And those 9 are happily absorbed, trained over a period of time, which means repeat investment of time and money on skilling something that they should have learned at school. I think that is challenge number 1. Challenge number 2 is earlier, a lot of gray-haired people like me are here. We all know that when we learn something, we thought this is a lifetime skill. But now the average lifespan of a skill is 5 years or lower. Somebody who learned how to repair a feature phone is completely clueless now because feature phone and a smartphone are different animals. Somebody who works on diesel and petrol engines will probably become redundant once electrical engines completely take over. I don't know whether they call electrical engines, but electrical cars, right? Which means that the speed at which things are changing is resulting in repeated need for reskilling. And this is a hygiene thing. We need to reskill them, otherwise they lose their jobs. So repeat investment of time and money on reskilling. Reskilling required to achieve acceptable level of basic skills. So tier lower and the next higher tier, both are only achieving hygiene. 2 minutes and I have to close. Oh, all right. So I'm going to run now. Okay. So let me then just skip all this and go to what is my focus area. What do we do to achieve this? We are looking at 4 quadrants. One is awareness creation, because we believe that students post 10th hardly know what they're opting for. They just go with whatever is told to them by friends or colleagues or teachers. Rarely teachers. It's more friends and relatives. The second one is aspirational traits. There's a strong need to do something about aspirational traits. I mean, I need to grow. I want to grow. Growth has to be a value system. And that is where I think schools like yours and students like IITians can do a lot. I have worked with IIT Madras students in the past, and we did something called Back to Village. It was wonderful. They went and inspired kids so much. They stayed with them for a couple of weeks, 3 weeks, and taught them basic skills, math and Microsoft Excel and things like that. But what you're essentially doing is going and seeding a seed of ambition and aspiration. Once that comes in, I think people will just blossom. Something to break the laziness, and awareness has to be there. Teaching learning standards have to improve. So we are providing content, as I said. All right, so what I think I'll do is, since we're running out of time, I'll just leave this presentation with probably my thoughts in an audio format. And I would like all of you to think about one thing. This is really where we are working. This is blended training. All those of you who are from corporates or NGOs or CSRs, and all those of you who are students. Okay, learning has to be facilitated digitally. I'm just finishing. Just give me this one slide, okay? This is really hard bargaining. Okay, all right. Learning digitally is great, but we need to do physical learning as well, and that is where IIT students can come in and do a great job. I worked with the NSS of IIT Madras for some time, did great things there. And I would like to invite some of you to try and do that. My policy of teaching is nudge, facilitate, and force. If students don't want to learn, let's force them to learn. Okay, and I think to the corporates, there is a need for providing consumables like tools and wires and resistors and connectors. Without those, we cannot teach anything at the ground level. We need to provide liberally for consumables at the ground level, and activity-based learning can improve. So I think she'll throw me out now. So so I'll stop with this, that we can make it happen. I'm an insufferable optimist. We can make it happen. So let's do that. All right? Thank
you. Oh, thank you, ma'am. Sorry.
Dr. Josna, thank you very much. I know it is short of time. You have been doing a great job on the ground, but this time is a very, very limited time for many speakers. This is the beginning, and we continue working along and collaborating with each other. Over to Chaitra now for the next speaker. Let us look the PPT. Can you look the 5 PPT?
Which I have that.
This one? 5 champion. Let the slide.
This one?
Oh, yeah. You enable it?
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Great. Yeah.
I would now like to hand the mic to Mr. Narasimha Raju. He is a human engineer who has spent the last 26 years in IT, innovations, social initiatives, and human excellence. He has been selected in IES, ISRO, and DRDO, and worked as an OSD to DG. He is also working on education.
I think people have seen that. We'll continue. It's taking time.
Okay. Okay. All right. I'll now pass the mic off.
Thank you. Respected faculty, respected elders, dear students, namaste, very good evening. So, we welcome you to the 5E Champion Profile Workshop. 5E stands for Education, Employability, Efficiency, Empathy, Ethics. Before taking you to the 18 attributes we defined for the champion profile, we explain you the motive and the burning desire for designing this 5E champion profile. So this model is based on the strong belief that every student holds a unique super talent and the society holds responsibility to transform that super unique talent to a global champion. The outcome of this whole model and process is that maximize the utilization of potential in our world, and finally, the impactful value addition to the world from every individual. So we have been presenting this session at various schools and colleges, and even tried at Ganesh Mantapas recently at Vinayak Chauthi. And we are happy today we are presenting to a larger forum and a global forum. To start the session, we take you to World Government Summit.
Some issue.
Okay. This way. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. So to start the session, we take you to the World Government Summit, where the host of the interview, UAE Minister, was asking Elon Musk, how did he pick his team matching to the out-of-box thinking, passion, and innovation? The reply from Musk was, guys, what is I move the Prasad?
Next. It's not.
People are not finding it online. That's okay. Say next. Is it going to the next?
No.
Oh, okay.
But the problem is
online is not happening. It's okay. I think people are waiting here. We already move on actually. Do the next. Do next. Do next. The screen one here.
It is coming online. Go back to the other screen, whatever you're trying to get. Go back. It's coming online. Don't worry. Go to the other screen. It's coming. You're able to go it now?
This is different, no?
It's not working with the computer.
I think this is coming.
No, other screen. No, go to the other side. Earlier, the side also there is a screen. Sorry.
It's not coming online, so okay, no? How many people are there online?
Not many people are there.
But that's okay then.
Yeah, it's okay. Yes. But it's coming online. I don't have any issues on that. Only side by or some screen is coming, that's okay. Yeah, now it should be okay. Now it should be okay. Yeah, it should be okay. It's coming.
Yeah,
it should be okay.
Yeah. Sorry for the delay. So Elon Musk was responding that, this is a question he would ask in his interviews. Tell me about some of the most difficult problems you work on and how you solve them. So respected audience, the evolution of life and the evolution of the world is all about picking the problems around us and identifying the root causes and designing the solutions. So we ask our audience and what are the problems we come across. So people talk about unemployment, poverty, etc. We do respect the views of the audience, but we have much more burning concern beyond these problems. So to elevate their awareness, we show them sustainable development goals proposed by United Nations. So now we have the problems ready. We'll work on the root cause. So when we're talking about root cause, before getting the root cause, we ask them to choose one of these options. I'm poor talented, I'm average talented, I'm highly talented, and I'm super talented. This is the pattern of the results. Most of the students and youth are choosing average talented, few are choosing highly, and very few are choosing super talented. But what is the correct answer? The nature has created everybody with a super talent, and that is the rule of the nature. So if somebody do not believe us, we refer to them that I have no special talent, I'm only passionately curious. It's a matter of the passion and curiosity to move forward in the life. So this looks like a puzzle that we are all super talented, but there are so many problems in the world, right? So this is our burning concern, that the enormous human potential is going highly underutilized. So we quote two examples, not in education, employment and training. Almost 30% of the youth were in the unproductive stage. This is one example of the underutilization. The employability level is almost only 46%. So more than the 50 students are in the unemployable stage. This is one more example of the underutilization. So many countries have understood to utilize the demographic dividend and working, but our observation, this is sensitive statement to make, but this is kind of a reactive approach. We are letting the students and youth to fall into the neat and unemployable stage, and we are trying to fix by upskilling, reskilling, etc. So what is the solution? That's what the 5E and champion profile we are talking about. And how do we maximize the potential? How do we motivate the people to apply their potential to move forward? So we can pose hundreds of such examples, but lack of time we are skipping. There have been so many kind of contributions from the previous generations that made our current world comfortable. So there has been lots of passion, hard work and sacrifice, and the world evolved to the current comfort, and there have been impactful valuation to the world by many legends in the past. So that's what we are trying to motivate our students and youth. So having seen the contributions of the past, our question to the audience is whether we should be continuing to be consumer or contributor. Consumer is a parasite, a passive life, insignificant life. Okay, and as per our as we have been working on the social initiatives, our observations on the major reasons of underutilization, we coined it as the Brege model. B, that the missing the belief that I'm super talented and not choosing the domain and sector what matches to you, realizing and choosing that, and exposure to the global opportunities in education, employment and entrepreneurship. When we ask the rural students and what are the top 20 universities in the world, many are not able to answer. So if you do not know those top 20 universities, how would you aim to get into there? MIT, nobody is not even heard. So then the goals, we are trying to bring in a paradigm shift in the goals, that what do you want to be at the age of 65, where do you like to start? And the guidance, not only taking the guidance and giving the guidance, and the innovation mindset and solution mindset. And finally, even the 6 attributes are possessed, the expressiveness is becoming one of the problems with the Indian students and youth. Okay, so the root cause what we are referring to is that The 360-degree profiling is missing beyond the academic marks and ranks. That's what we are trying to address, because this profiling is missing, is leading to missing of the self-awareness, self-challenging, and self-navigation. So this is the nucleus slide of our presentation, that because our students are not aware on the next phases of the education, that every stage they are struggling. After education, then employability. Okay, then that employability, after the efficiency, more with less, more quality, more quantity with less time and cost. Then after getting into the efficiency, then empathy. After I become a manager, I get a feedback from my supervisor that Raju, you are okay as an individual contributor, as an efficiency, but now your empathy to your colleagues, your peers and your seniors and customers. Then finally ethics. Ethics not only the thoughts and actions and words, but creating the perception that we are really doing the ethics. This is what our innovation offering, the education, employability, efficiency, empathy, ethics as the next phases of the education. And we are giving this awareness at the school level itself, so that they get prepared, that awareness and preparedness. So far, this is a kind of a concept and theory, but what is a kind of an execution model? So this is what the champion profile. So we have coined the 18 attributes into the 5 sections: image and goals, learn and share, guided and guiding, execution excellence, value system innovation, and solutioning. So these are the questions we are asking at the school level to raise their awareness and some of the problems we are referring. So this is available at our 5echamp.com. Anybody can freely register to that. So I'm going to cover what are the 5 problems we are fixing through this 5E champion profile. First one is that people are not aware of the next phase of the education of this tool. The second thing, very important, many organizations are working, coming and motivating, talking about the problems, but how do I navigate? How do I design my roadmap? How do I measure myself? That's the biggest problem. That method, the tool, the compass is missing. That's what the champion profile we are giving. The third thing, we come across so many engineering students. I'm an IT person. The resume they prepare will be very pale, very plain, because we are not got habituated to profiling ourselves. If IT people over there, they will understand when we deploy the large IT application, we do profiling to monitor the blame point metrics. That profiling is missing, that orientation is missing, that's where the struggle is. That's the next problem we are fixing. Then, the academic model is a kind of a, understanding the things and reproducing the things. But if you have to go to the top positions and if you have to make the impactful valuation, your ability to analyze the things. So we are posing open questions in the champion profile so that your analytical ability goes up. There is a fourth problem. The fifth problem is that how do I influence? Okay, the ability, the expression is the biggest problem. So some of the parameters in our champion profile is that how many teaching hours, what are the subject, what are the topics you can speak on the spot without any preparation. With that, their ability to go stand on the stage and expressiveness goes up. So respected audience, these are the 18 parameters. I will quickly read out. The titles you earned and the career and academic highlights, your lifetime goals, immediate goals, awards you won, membership in professional organizations. And the topics you can speak on the spot, the YouTube knowledge videos you created, books, copyright, patents you filed, the external certificates achieved, the books you read and the learning, the magazines you are reading, the whiteboard at home you have, your guide names and how many persons you are guiding, your 3 best friends and their strengths and goals, your strengths, your areas of improvements and your failures and learning from them. Then execution excellence, your time chart for 24 hours and your weekly status report. And the value system innovation solutioning, the values you learn from parents, grandparents, teachers and elders. What motivates you, the problems you solve, the three books, organization leaders and you like the most. This is what the 18 parameters, and these questions are very much shaking the thought process of our students. And some of the features of this one is, and one more thing we have come up is a job readiness index. This is available on 5thyear.in. We have come up with the 16 parameters. We have given the weightage to that and expected value. A student can assess the job readiness within the 5 minutes by putting the distance. So I invite the academicians at the IIT to look into this job readiness index. I will be more than happy to fine tune it based on the weightages and the target values. And what are some of the features in the champion profile is that This is given as a dashboard. This is the first time, as per our knowledge, I have been in the IT for the more than 26 years. There are now craze, monsters, etc. But a dashboard looks as a life mirror. Okay, this is what, and this can be provided at the school level, college level, organization level, and at the site level also. What are the titles, books, magazines of others that we can see, and then we can see the attribute level. These are all the what you call titles of the whole site. You can get to see. And at the attribute level also, you can share as it is. Okay, and we have been encouraging people to take up a 5 ambassador role. If you motivate 5 to 10 students to create a champion profile, we give a 5 ambassador. Okay, so we request you to suggest your students and youth and working professionals. This is applicable to everybody till the age of 65. This is very simple. 5echamp.com, and you can sign in with the Google, and you can keep seeing the 18 parameters, and you will see your champion profile dashboard, where you are doing good, where you need to improve on. And you can do the sign in through the Google, and we can present this we can present this session in schools, colleges, and the institution, wherever you invite us. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for sharing your vision with us. Now, I would like to request Mr. Manjunath Pedagogla, Director of Academic Programs, Gannett Academy, to come and address.
Okay, thank you.
Hello, all. Good evening. So, hope you see all exhausted. Okay, so bear with me for 5 minutes. So today, what I'm focusing more on is three important challenges from morning. What we're talking about, right? So one was the upskilling. The second one was quality research and collaborations, and the third one is global vendor connect. So coming to upskilling, when we see a lot of students, right? Today, if you look at the scenarios happening with many engineering institutions, so all the students are doing almost 4 years course. After that, sometimes post graduations. After that, they again go to expensive courses, get additional skills, then they get the job. Okay, so you see here in this journey, right? The students are spending so much time and money to get into the jobs. Okay, so why upskilling is very important. Now, if you look at in India, so how many institutions do we have? Engineering colleges. So morning we had so many numbers, right? So I can see almost in India we have close to 9,000 engineering colleges. Upskilling 48 crores people is going to be much difficult. Okay, so already the setup institutions only can do this. So how can we upskill engineers with the right set of qualities so that they can get employed immediately after the graduation? Okay, so now if you look at take examples of different companies, right? So unless you unless you adapt to the changes, learn things, you are not going to present in the world. Take an example of Kodak roll cameras. I think our generation already saw that cameras. Okay, so they are there. They really, if you look at, they really was very more adamant, saying like, no, this is going to stay unless the digital cameras and mobiles came, right? Until they go out of market. Similar case with Nokia phones. Correct. So the interesting case with Sony phones is like Sony just came up with a statement saying, yeah, Indian consumers don't want to buy cheap products. Okay, but if you look at the other way around, Apple got more market. Is Apple selling cheap products? No, right? So it's the mindset how unless you upskill. So it's about all the mindset and see what are the right skill areas. Unless you innovate yourself, you can't be in the market. Either you adapt or you abort. Okay. So the other aspect is quality research. When it comes to quality research, we see like from morning we understood from different delegates saying Indian universities, we don't have much industry collaborations and things. But when we look at different parts of the world, we see different. There we see quality research and things happening at university level is very high. and the outputs coming from there are being implemented in industry. There are a lot of collaborations, invitations coming from industry to collaborate with universities. Why not here? So these are the two important areas. The third one, say for example, now when professor is so motivated to set up a lab, world-class lab, then invite for collaborations. Now, for a professor to go and teach, his main job is to teach and then do research and also do other admin works. Now, along with that, when he wanted to go and set up a world-class lab, right? How many vendors he has to connect globally? And how many vendors he has to talk to, understand? By the time he understands different vendors and buy products, then the big puzzle comes. Will the product from vendor 1 and vendor 2, is it compatible? So setting up a lab and making it in a working environment is going to like a 2-3 years job, which we already saw this with few universities. They almost spent 3 to 4 years for making an advanced lab. So what we thought, like, see, these are 3 challenges which we understand, which is hindering again the upskilling as well as quality research and collaborations. So what we thought, no, the world standard labs are the main solutions which can help students to get more hands-on skills, and also the professors can do quality research and get more patents. With those things, you will have more industry collaborations coming to your university. So at Gannett Academy, when we started this, so we come from Gannett Engineering and Gannett Academy both. Gannett Engineering, we are developing innovative technologies for automotive industry. So we come from automotive background. So when we are developing these things for industry, right? We also know in industry, okay, when interns come and start at industry, the day one, they're just dumping all the material to student and saying, okay, finish these materials. By the time they finish these materials, they will have questions. They don't have time to guide them. Okay. So when we understood the problems from industry also, then we said like, okay, try our interns, see it. When they understood it, like, you see, if you look at the training programs, what they have, they are almost taking 6 months or to 1 year to train students to get into the job in right areas. When they tried our interns, they understood it's not, it's like unless you innovate, right, you can't do things. Yeah. So, so ideally, when we look at the solutions, right, we made 1 month plan so that the students can do 1 month training at Gannett and join there. But we are taking, like, industry is sending people there to train the students and then join there. Okay. So at Gannett Academy, then we started saying like, no, unless we build world-class laboratories at universities, this is not going to be a long sustainable solution. And we are supporting to develop many labs at universities. And one of our success example is, which we recently set up at IIT Kharagpur. So please connect with us. I'm at the stall right now. Okay, for more details. Yeah.
I can give your number also, so that interested people can.
Sure, sure.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Manjunath. He came all the way from Bengaluru to give just this presentation and set up a stall. When speaker slots are not available, however, he wanted to be here. We gave a stall and is happy now. Thank you very much. And we have MNR great institutions, then IIT Hyderabad, then so many other industry, the academic connects you have now. We will connect with all of them so that you can go with the labs. Then over to Ananya. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now I would request Kaushal and his team to present their project with us.
Okay, thank you. We got to share the. Okay. Is it okay? It's presented to.
Good evening, one and all. So I'm Kaushal Gujarati and she is Bharath Ghosh. So let me start off with the story of a government school student, as I mentioned there. So there was a boy. He was studying in a ZPHS government school. If you are from Telangana, you know very well the infrastructure and the teachers right there. So what happened was, it was a primary school. Basically, it had only till class 6th. So that student was actually very much motivated and enthusiastic enough to study ahead, but the family situation was not so good for him. So at one point of time, his parents actually forced him to drop off from school and continue with the daily chores and do the household work. But one fine day, a student, motivated student from outside the campus, probably from an IIT, he came to the school, he motivated the students, and he was basically, he had his own company business right then. So this, the guidance of that student helped this student of ZPHS school to actually excel in his life. And that student is no one but my father. Okay, he is actually working in Tech Mahindra since 25 years. Now, the takeaway from this story is that it's how important the guidance of students from outside, like not from a school, ZPHS school, but how much guidance and exposure to a ZPHS school student can impact him and make his future. Okay, so yeah, so this is my agenda. Initiative of IIT-TECH. Actually, we identified 5 schools around IIT-TECH as of now. They are around a radius of 5 kilometers basically, and we allocated some good sum to them to basically build up a e-learning infrastructure. Probably we provided them with a PC setup, then we provided them with the speakers, webcam, and a projector screen, etc. So that it's like we are teaching from the teachers are students of IIT-TECH, and the students are from ZPHS government schools. Okay, now at first we are focusing on class 10 school students because they have board exams lined up, so they will definitely have to prepare for the exams. And along with that, they are the students who drop out basically after their class 10 because of certain situations at home. Okay, so now we're bringing the IIT fraternity as teachers, and our end goal is to just motivate and give the exposure to the students. It's not that we are creating job insecurity to the government teachers. It's like we actually want the students to know the world. What are the opportunities available after class 10 and what else they can do in their life. The challenges that we faced was first one was internet facility. So basically we cannot expect high-speed internet. So what we have done to this cater challenges, like we have BSNL in all the villages in India, right? So we used Ethernet from BSNL. So the challenge 1 is solved. But coming to the challenge 2, 3, and 4, it's like there is not enough resource management. Now currently I'm teaching in ZPHS Mailaram, if you know, I'm teaching mathematics there on Mondays and Fridays. So when I teach on Monday, I teach on Monday. So Tuesday again, the coordinator from that school calls me and he asks me if I'm teaching on Tuesday. But no, I'm not teaching on Tuesday. But he doesn't know that I'm teaching on again Friday. So it's like a lot of confusion between us. And also there is not enough communication between teacher and student. Now it's like telecasting live, but I'm not able to see who I'm teaching to because my screen is full of the projected screen, right? So I'm not able to see students. I'm not able to get feedback if they are able to understand it or not. And if I want to send a quiz, if I want to just check out if they are able to understand, like I just want to know how much of maths they understand from my class. So that is not possible. Now what we have done, I'm introducing something known as Mana Taragati. It's like if you understand Telugu, Mana Chaduvu, Mana Bhavishyatu, as in my education, my future. Now from here on, Deba will carry on the presentation.
As Kaushal spoke about our initiative, Mana Taragati, I would kindly like everyone to give an idea about our current progress and all. Okay. Hello, am I audible? Is this fine? Okay. So the app Mana Taragati is generally aimed at a class of students from ZPHS schools where they don't have much internet connectivity as well as the reach and the use of ease it needs to be concerned. Basically, we are talking about school kids in villages. So we found out an interface which should be very easy to use, not only by them as well as by their peers, even parents and all, if they have to check their progress or anything, they can refer to it using their easy interfaces. So in the student section, generally we have the subjects which have been taught by the teachers, and inside every subjects we have platforms for sharing the materials like announcements shared by the teachers, lecture recordings, notes for reviews after the class or even for future references. As well as we are also introducing the taking a quiz or taking up tests for introducing the evaluation processes as well. Further, other than that, we have an Ask It Out feature as well, where they can interact with the teachers from the ITH fraternity and they can have a conversation regarding their doubts which they want to conduct. Apart from that, to maintain a semblance of what Kaushal told about the timetable issues where they are not able to figure out who is teaching at what time, we have also introduced the timetable feature. Next, we have a platform for the teacher as well as in the same app. So apart from the features of sharing the materials and all, we have also incorporated a directory of the schools enrolled as well as the students enrolled in school, so that when we are expanding it on multiple school basis, it will be easy for the teacher if he's teaching multiple schools and students to keep a track of it. So overall, the entire app, we are still working on it. So I'd like to show a little demo of that. So as we are going through, this is the teacher's portal. This is the announcement section where the teacher will be sharing. And this is the materials section where they're able to upload all the recordings as well as the notes. And then forward, this is where they add the quizzes and the links. We are currently using Google Forms. Apart from that, when we move on, this is the timetable section. And with that, I'll conclude the app demo.
Yeah, so I would like to end with a quote. పని డబ్బునిస్తుంది, మంచితనం పేరు తెస్తుంది, కానీ చదువు ప్రపంచాన్ని పరిచయం చేస్తుంది. As in work pays, goodness brings fame, but education introduces the world. So thank you so much. So this is our team currently. We are all IITians, proud IITians, working on this Manataragati. And if you would like to follow us on social media pages, you are free to. Like we are on Insta and Gmail. Thank you.
Thank you very much, both of you, and definitely we need to take this forward across other parts of the state, at least 2 Telugu states. Now over to Ananya for the next speaker. Maybe Venkatesh, are you ready with the demo?
I would like to welcome.
Should I close? It's on the screen only.
Is it?
Yes. I think it's here only. It's opened actually. Oh, you closed it?
Which one is that?
I think it's down. Yeah, this is Johnny Steps. And there was a Word doc. Is this the Word doc? Can you just check? Yeah, if you can. Okay, this is you can minimize this, and you can just
share it.
Yeah.
Okay, good evening everyone. I think the energy is really very low in the room. So let me try it again. Good evening everyone. Thank you. I think most of them are students because I saw that loads of students raised their hands. So let me have some energy this time. I wouldn't be long, but then I'm going to add a lot of value, and basically I'm going to tell you about my journey. And if you just like focus on everything that I tell in the next 10-15 minutes, I can tell you for sure that it will make an impact in your life and your career. So the first thing is that I have a question before I start. How many of you actually believe that you have a gifted life? Can I have some hands raised? Because otherwise I'm going to assume that the others don't believe in themselves that they're gifted. So can I see the hands? Yes. Okay. Right. So I believe that everyone is gifted. Yes? Yes. Okay. You just need to say yes every time I ask a question. So the energy is there, in the room. Right. So the first step, I believe, is that you need to believe in yourself
99 point, not 99.99%, but 100%. Now, this 0.0001% matters a lot. There's a big difference between believing in yourself and having faith in yourself. When your belief is 99.999%, the chances of you being confident in your steps becomes less. When you have it as 100%, it is called faith. There's a difference between belief and faith, and that's a quote by just me, wherein I think everyone should have confidence and belief. It should be 100% and not mere 99.99%. Now, I'll tell you about my journey. So I started off as an engineer. After my engineering in VIT, I'm a VITian. And I'm happy to be in a room here today at the 91st birthday of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam sir, with IITians and others as well. So I started off as I just started off in Tata Consultancy Service. I was working in the banking and financial space as an analyst. Now, when I was working as an analyst, what I realized is that the team that I was associated with, how exactly I need to liaise with the team, how do I work in a team culture, how do I manage a team, is what I learned from my managers in that company. Now, I went ahead and I started, I did UPSC for a year, and I really didn't want to pursue it. I started my MBA in Finance and Operations. I did it in Amity University, after which I worked as a manager. I worked as a manager in Morgan Stanley. Now here, the transition I had from an analyst to a manager was very different because it was challenging. I actually had to learn what my team does, and then I had to manage them. So this was challenging, but then as time passed, I actually got like 5 processes under me, and I had a team of 15 people. So that's where I realized that yes, I could be a manager. And I always wanted to explore myself, and I wanted to see what my abilities are, what my skill sets are. So from Morgan Stanley, I made a big transition where I went to London, and I started off a course in MSc Supply Chain. I also got Bloomberg certified. That was the reason I went there. Now, what did I actually notice there when I went? There's a very big difference when you talk about the mindset that we have in the East and the mindset that we have in the West. The biggest difference is that anybody in the West, they take pride in whatever they do. For example, an electrician, a farmer, you talk about a plumber, right? There, if you want any of these handyman services, you need to take an appointment. And they also take a lot of pride in doing their job. And it's not like you can just call them and you can come and ask them to do a job. However, in the East, I think in India, you know how plumbers or painters or farmers actually feel about their job. Now, I have a question. Do you all really think that any job is a low job or any job is a high job? Do you all think that all the jobs are equal? Are you sure? Okay, how many of, okay, there's an example I want to give. You can sell tea and become the prime minister. Is it true? You can sell tea and you can become a prime minister also. Is it true? So, pardon? No, I'm just giving an example. See, no job is like, you should treat everything equal is what I'm saying, because I'll tell you why. In the next slide, so I told you that I was working as an analyst, then I worked as a manager, yeah, for a company, for an investment bank like Morgan Stanley. Now, when I went to UK, what I learned is that my experience wouldn't simply count. The reason is, so the reason is that whatever I was doing in India and the experience that I held was not valid in UK. They simply said that you could have to start from scratch. Now, I had only one option, basically to go and start off some odd jobs, because at that point of time I was only a student and I wasn't able to basically use my experience to get a job. At that point of time, the scenario was different back in 2016. So I went ahead and started doing any opportunity that came my way.
Now I'm talking about working in an off-license store, working in a souvenir shop. Now, when I did those jobs, what I realized is you basically learn a lot from any job. Now, that particular job actually grounded me a lot. And what did I gain from that? I gained a lot of because when I started my job, there were loads of people who are coming. Yeah, yeah. Yes, sir. Yes. Right. So, okay. Let me just. I'll just come to the most important slide, which is Awaken Your Warrior. Now, what you need to do is you need to firstly identify your strengths by finding out the skills that you're best at. So your first step should be to list down all the skill sets that you have on a piece of paper, right? Now, when you list down all the skill sets, it could be anything. It could be art, it could be music, it could be dance, it could be technology, it could be marketing, it could be operations. Now, these skill sets is something that you need to identify from your past, right? It could be in your childhood, it could be some dream that you had that you left halfway. You note down those skill sets and start working on the first skill set in your list. Now, how do you build on a particular skill set, right? You can use social media, which is available for free, right? You can leverage on those social media content. Basically, let's say you choose dance, right? You simply put a hashtag dance on that particular social media, let's say LinkedIn or Twitter or Facebook. When you give a hashtag, what happens is you basically get the people, you get the companies, you get events, you get videos, you get articles, you get all the information that is required for you to build that particular skill set for free from social media. Now, why am I telling you to do this? Is because you can actually build your profile while you are pursuing your first year or your second year or your third year of your course, right? So most of the people, most of the students in India actually underestimate themselves because they think that they're not talented, they're not gifted because they actually don't know what their skill sets are. You need to list your skill sets first, and then you need to start building on each skill set. It's not necessary because when you're doing your engineering, it's not necessary that you'll become only an engineer. Maybe there's something else hidden inside you. But for you to find out what is hidden inside you, you need to follow few steps. You need to do something different apart from what your course is teaching you. And you can only do that by leveraging on social media, which is available for free. You don't have to go and do anything. You don't have to buy anything, but you can simply go and you can connect to the right companies. You can connect to the right people. You can read a lot of articles. You can watch a lot of YouTube videos, and most importantly, you need to attend events. So let's say someone chooses the skill set art. Yeah. Now, now when you choose art and you basically give, let's say 6 months. Now you're basically given 6 months to that particular skill set that you have chosen. What will happen down the line 6 months, right? Now down the line 6 months, you will have enough content curated from all the material that you have gained from social media. You would have connected with loads of people. You would have connected with loads of companies. You would have enough content within you for you to curate and come up with content so you can post it. Very important for you to curate content and then start posting, because when you will start posting content, you will start becoming confident on that particular skill set that you want to build, right? Now, how do you track your progress? How do you know whether you're going in the right direction? You need, when you select a particular skill set and give 1 year to it, you will get to know whether you're fit for that particular skill set, or you need to move on to the next best skill set that you have in your list, right? um, Talking about progress, very important for you to always maintain a diary, or you need to have a PowerPoint presentation where you actually list down in the first month how many articles did you read, how many people did you connect to, how many videos did you watch, how much content did you actually post out on social media, how did you put your present out there on social media. You need to track this. You need to know what's the network that you're building. Is it the right network or not? You need positive people and you need like-minded people. So how many events have you attended? This is not like a gym membership that you pay for a year and then you go for 1 or 2 days or just a week. You need to make sure that you basically give enough time to that particular skill set to see that kind of an outcome, right? So yes, you need to, okay. And so basically, I have a quote. Uh, Frustration can penetrate any routine, but a breakthrough can unleash the taste of freedom. So when you are doing something which is very monotonous and you're not finding anything, you need to basically do something else that makes you passionate. Now, what will happen when you follow this particular step by finding out your skill set and then giving all that time tracking your progress? What will happen is you might unlock something known as your inner potential. Now, when you do this for the first skill set, when you do it for the second skill set, while you're pursuing your course, then you will unlock something as your inner potential. And when you unlock your inner potential, then you will start working passionately on it, and you don't need anyone to guide you on how exactly you need to like build your career, or you'll be confident on how exactly you need to build your career, right? Um, Now, some of the focus areas I would like to mention here is emerging technologies. I did speak in the morning about emerging technologies. There's a time constraint here, so that's why I just sped up all the slides. Now, when we talk about emerging technologies, why I actually spoke about emerging technologies is because these technologies are not used by laymen in today's market, but down the line, couple of years or 5 years, you will see that even layman is using augmented reality. They are into metaverse. They basically will start working on AI, machine learning algorithms, because social media is making everyone very aware of what their potential is. Now, when we talk about what your next step should be, apart from your skills that you choose and start building and identify your inner potential so that you work passionately, it is very important for you to be creative. You need to be innovative, and you need to basically have emotional intelligence. So these are three things that are keys for you to build your career. And I think when you talk about automation, when you talk about AI, when you talk about robotics, it is said that most of the jobs will become redundant, which is true. But what I think that you should do is you should focus more on emotional intelligence, creative thinking, and innovation, which is something which robots are still not familiar with. There is something known as artificial intelligence, and there is artificial general intelligence. Now, when you talk about artificial general intelligence, that's where the human intelligence comes into picture. This is not something you can expect from artificial intelligence robots. And these three skill sets are something that you can focus on if you are looking for a career in the future. Uh, this is just my journey where I've written a book. I've spoken on the London Stock Exchange. I've been awarded the Toykathon Award by PM Narendra Modi's initiative, and then I also received a Barclays Award. Now, how do you choose your journey? Yeah. So you start as a business developer first. Now, what's your call to action here? Choose a business, right? Or choose a mentor that actually you're interested in. And basically start bringing business for that particular mentor or that company. Now, by that, what do you mean? So if you start bringing people to a particular business, or you start bringing people to a particular mentor, you basically will start upskilling, and you will gain a lot of experience by doing that. So you can take up a job, you can take up an individual as well, and then you can start basically learning from them. Now, you can be a business analyst where you analyze, let's say, 10 to 20 businesses, 10 to 20 people. Now, when you work as a business analyst, you basically will get a lot of information, you will get a lot of strategies, you will get a lot of information, and you will gain a lot of knowledge and experience from those businesses. You can use that, you can take that information and you can use that in your career path. Now, if you talk of, if you do the first two steps, firstly, you learn from the business or the business mentors, and then the second step where you become an analyst is you gain a lot of information from all the companies out there and individuals out there, and you can choose whether you want to start your own business or you want to upscale in your career path. Now, all the information that you will take from the first step as a business developer and the second step as a business analyst, will basically help you to create your own path and come up with a much effective career that you want to be choosing. With this, I will end my presentation as we have a time constraint. So follow to learn, but stand up to lead. And thank you for your valuable time and patience. All the very best.
Thank you, Venkatesh. I know this is the second time we thought you could give some demo, but you went through the presentation. That's okay. I think you are not ready with the demo. And now the time is for the declaration. We'll take a couple of minutes. After the event, what we are going to do next to 2030. After a couple of minutes, we start the award ceremony. And I know some people are very much eager to leave immediately. We make it very fast. I now request the team, Professor Prasad, to share the declaration. So that I request Dr. Chintala and Bharath sir, then Professor Onkar is here, and myself and Grace, all of us, we come here and we will read out the declaration, what we are going to do until next 2030. This is a draft declaration, but we definitely refine this bit further by taking all of your input, and we make it a very good declaration to work on this for until 2030. Thank you very much. I request Professor Prasad to give out the declaration. We are going to endorse it today.
Okay, I'll just read out the declaration. This is one of the SDGs, Sustainable Development Goal number 4, which is achieving quality education. So one of the points which we'll be focusing on is ensure inclusive and equitable quality education and promote lifelong learning opportunities for all. Education in the process of facilitating learning or the acquisition of knowledge, skills, values, beliefs, and habits. The purpose of education is to enhance and to sustain the dignity and capacity of the human person in relation to others and to nature. The framework the framework for action, the next steps to be followed is vision and principles. We're going to formulate goals, targets, and strategic approaches. Implementation modalities, primarily in multiple dimensions of governance, accountability, and partnerships. effective coordination, monitoring, follow-up and review of the activities, then financing, funding aspects of it, indicator framework to monitor the progress, what are the indicators which can give us some broad idea that what direction the growth has to happen. And the principles of education which we are going to follow is concern for sustainable human and social development, recognizing the diversity of lived realities while reaffirming a core of universal ethical values. So I think with this, we would like to present this declaration to the audience, and we are welcoming all other thoughts or ideas or any other aspects which need to be considered. We will be revising this and taking steps forwards in that direction. Thank you. I request Grace ma'am to say a few words.
Actually, I came here to request Dr. Chintala Garu. I just came here to request Dr. Chintala Garu and Bharath sir to add their inputs as part of the declaration sign-off.
Good evening. So, first of all, I must thank Ram and his team, and particularly the ladies, Dr. Israt and Grace, and all the team who are, and also Dr. Prasad. And this is a very well thought of, declaration, and I endorse that one. And I'm sure because we are working in these areas, even Ms. Joshna also is helping us in these areas, and I endorse and will work towards this, how to achieve this goal as it is mentioned by 2030, that's by 2030.
Good evening to all. A big claps to the whole. I think there should be energy in the heart. And first of all, I am extremely thankful to the organizers, collaborators, particularly IIT, and also other people who came here and made presentations. And what a wonderful day. Actually, since 10 o'clock in the morning, now it's almost 5. I think in the last 8 hours, none of us have moved out of our seats. And most of the sessions were very gripping. And definitely I can say that maybe when we were students, actually this kind of a material was not available. Actually, there were no career counselors. Nobody was able to tell. There was no internet. There was no YouTube. And absolutely nothing was available. And so actually that we went by the call of the fate. Maybe somebody had pulled the strings and we just came up. And that was the thing. But otherwise, actually, the present day generation has got quite a lot of opportunities. And now this one, when in the last 2 months, actually, I was having a very maybe intense interaction with the Lead Foundation Global, led by Ram and also assisted by Ishra, then Sushila, then so many other people who are there. And everyone was very passionate, saying that actually we are going to bring so many people. Actually, I was wondering really how this thing is possible, because sometimes actually the time is very short whether we can do it. But thing is, now having seen the success, I found that the interactions were very, very good, and the way the presentations were, they were so focused. What I felt was that now the entire education system is undergoing a tremendous change. I can say it is a epochal moment. That's what we can say, that because a kind of a new paradigm is being brought into the education. Now the students have got an option to choose, because now in case of United States, actually people after doing engineering, one can become MBBS, or maybe by doing it, you can do so many other courses also. But in India, actually, we are having a very straitjacket kind of an education system. But now today, actually, I could see, because in many other forums also where I was just attending, actually, people were thinking that actually people can take so many other courses beyond their regular curriculum to improve their skills, to improve their employability, to improve the so many things. And also the other basic thing, actually, that many of the speakers have spoken about is whether really the students are screened properly or mentored properly to take up a particular course where their passion lies. Actually, now many of you might have seen the movie Three Idiots. Actually, if you see the Three Idiots, actually one of the things that Tamil actor who was there, actually who played that one, he also was there in the IIT, and he was absolutely pissed off with that engineering part. Actually, he got a passion for photography, but his particular thing is his parents were very absolutely upset with his photography passion. But ultimately, this hero had facilitated him to become a world-class photographer, and he won a National Geographic Award. So ultimately, excellence can happen in any field, and today the call of the world is go by your heart, and passion should be your profession. Actually, now, unlike earlier days where whatever your father and mother, actually they have a social standing and they want to show you as an engineer or a doctor. But today it's not the case. Now neither children are listening nor parents have got any kind of a control over it. And at the same time, today actually the kind of jobs are so many. Actually, if you look into the global scenario, they say that in the days to come, there will be 3 working days in a week. Actually, this is what everybody talks about, and there will be 4 days in a week are for the leisure. So that quite a lot of an industry is developing the leisure industry, and there will be requirement of so many people. So now, so many new kind of activities are coming. Actually, people should look into all these things, and we should really do it. And today's particularly this entire maybe the way the speakers have spoken, really how actually we should give the mentoring to the students, and how we should change the curriculum, and how actually the people from the Bharath, actually now many of you maybe from the rural or urban areas, I'm not sure, but thing is, being the chairman of the biggest rural development bank, that is the Development Financial, I say that India is vertically divided into India and Bharat. The India is the one which is urban, which got all the infra facilities, and the people have got enormous wealth, and they can buy anything what they want for their kids and for themselves. But the Bharat, where actually almost 70% of the Indians live, they don't have the basic infrastructure to that level, and the net connectivity is poor. Sometimes even if the net may be there, but the power connection is not there, or if both the things are there, they are not able to have any kind of a great teachers to teach them. So now the time has come for all of us to join hands and see that how this gulf between the Bharat and the India is bridged, and really how people like us who are very fortunate to be in such kind of a position to know the things what are happening, what is happening all over. Really, we should take this kind of things to that rural areas where our brothers and sisters are still languishing in that kind of a maybe poverty-ridden kind of conditions, and also lack of facilities and lack of mentorship. So let us join hands, and the declaration which has been given now, that is up to 2030, actually we should take it. That this is the SDG 4, but in the lunchtime I was talking that actually SDG 4 is just maybe one of the sustainable development goal, but the remaining sustainable development will also interlink. In case if you can give a good training, I think the rest of the things are achieved also, because the girl child will get a good education, she will be taken care of, and they may get employment, and also the environment will be protected, and all these things are happen. So now everything will start with education. If you educate a girl, she will educate herself to become a great mother. If a great mother is there, actually the society itself will be greater. So that is where actually that we all should resolve to do it. And I endorse this entire declaration which we are doing it, and let us follow it up. And only 8 years are left, and in the next 8 years all of us should do something to make this country great. As just yesterday there was one international publication saying that by 2028 India's economy is going to be 10 trillion, and we are going to outbid Japan and other countries. If that is the case, the whole of the country and the whole of the population has to be educated, and they have to be skilled. Actually, more than it, they have to be skilled to perform the work with a much more finesse. So once again, a great amount of a satisfaction to all of us, and a big clap to organizers. Thank you.
may I request to give a standing ovation for whatever sir explained now. And we also definitely, all the team, as a team, we are going to endorse this declaration. Thank you, sir, for inspiring us and really guiding us, motivating us to take this forward. Thank you very much, Mr. Dr. P.R. Chintala. And we also request your leadership further to make this happening. And till 2030, thank you. Thank you very much.
Time will fly.
Sir, I just sent the logo, sir. Just
announcement time and the other
yeah.
Thank you, sir. Now I would like to request K. Vasundhara to address the cabinet for Vande Bharat and Ramesh, sir.
Mike Mike Patwan.
Wonderful good evening to all of you. Yeah. First, say salam to Kalam because today is his birthday. So I would like to thank to everybody to give me this such an opportunity. First time I met him in 2008, now 22. So we are organizing this event and I am going to take award. It's a wonderful opportunity. And let me introduce first Vande Bharat because here everybody Telugu people, right? Yeah? Yo, thank you. Okay. Vande Bharatam. So Vande Bharat పేరుతో మేము recent గా organization start చేసాం foundation. Our founder is Dr. Pirampali Ramesh garu. He is a tech personality. So working for photographers and also not only చాలా మందికి ఉపాధి కల్పిస్తూ అలాగే మనం ఈ రోజు ఇక్కడ కూర్చొని ఇంత ప్రశాంతంగా ఉన్నాము అంటే దానికి కారణం మన సోల్జర్స్. సో ఐ స్టాండ్ ఫర్ ది నేషన్ అనే ఒక ఇన్నోవేటివ్ ప్రోగ్రామ్ తోటి ఆయన సైనికుల కోసం చాలా వరకు ఒక గొప్ప కార్యక్రమం చేపట్టారు. ప్రతి భారతీయుడు మన ఇండియన్ నేషనల్ యాంథమ్ పాడే విధంగా ఆ రోజు ఆయన క్రియేట్ చేసి దేశం నలుమూలల మన దేశ ఖ్యాతిని చాటారు. ఆ ప్రోగ్రామ్ తర్వాత అదే ఇన్స్పిరేషన్ తో యూత్ ని వివిధ రంగాల్లో కూడా ముందుకు తీసుకోవాలనే ఉద్దేశంతో అలాగే సమాజ సేవలో వాళ్ళని భాగం చేస్తూ అందరినీ కలుపుకోవాలి, ఈ దేశ ఖ్యాతిని వాళ్ళ నరనరాల్లో కూడా ఎక్కేలా చేయాలి అని చెప్పేసి వందే భారత్ అనే ఈ ఫౌండేషన్ స్టార్ట్ చేయడం జరిగింది. సో ఫస్ట్ ప్రోగ్రామ్ మన గ్రేట్ విజనరీ డాక్టర్ అబ్దుల్ కలాం గారి పేరు మీదుగా సేవా పురస్కారాలు అందించడం చాలా సంతోషంగా ఉంది. సో ఐ వెల్కమ్ టు మిస్టర్ ఎప్పలపల్లి రమేష్ గారు. అలాగే ఈ ఎన్నో సస్టైనబుల్ గోల్స్ మీరు చూసే ఉన్నారు మార్నింగ్ నుంచి ఇప్పటిదాకా. సో దేశంలోనే కాదు ఇంటర్నేషనల్ వైడ్ గా వాటన్నిటిని ముందుకు తీసుకెళ్తూ అందరినీ చాలా పెద్ద ఎత్తున ముందుకు తీసుకెళ్తున్న లీడ్ ఇండియా ఫౌండేషన్ వారికి కూడా మేము కృతజ్ఞతలు చెప్తున్నాము. సో నాకు తెలిసి రామ్ సార్ ఒకరు నాకు తెలుసు పర్సనల్ అండ్ టీం అందరికి కూడా నేను థ్యాంక్స్ చెప్తున్నాను మమ్మల్ని ఇంత పెద్ద కాజ్ లో భాగం చేసినందుకు. సో వి బోత్ ఈ ఫౌండేషన్స్ తరఫున ఇప్పుడు సేవా పురస్కారాలు అందించబోతున్నాం. థ్యాంక్ యూ ఫర్ వెయిటింగ్ ఈ అవార్డ్స్ చేసినందుకు అలాగే వెయిట్ చేసినందుకు. సో ఓవర్ టు రమేష్ సార్.
థ్యాంక్ యూ వసుంధర గారు, థ్యాంక్ యూ వెరీ మచ్. అందరికీ గుడ్ ఈవినింగ్ అండి. సో ఏదైనా ఇప్పుడు మార్నింగ్ నుంచి నేను ఇక్కడ సెమినార్స్ వింటున్నాను, ఏదైనా ఇన్నోవేషన్ తీసుకోవాలి, ఇన్నోవేషన్ తో ముందుకెళ్ళాలి యూత్ అంతా, టోటల్ గా క్లాసెస్ అన్ని కూడా నేను విన్నాను.
నేను మారుమూల గ్రామం నుంచి వచ్చాను, బెల్లంపల్లి ఏదో ఆదిలాబాద్ లో ఉండే జిల్లా నుంచి. అసలు నాకు హైదరాబాద్ వచ్చినప్పుడు ఏమీ తెలియదు, ఇంత పెద్దగా నడుస్తుంది, ఈ విధంగా ఐఐటి కాలేజెస్ ఉంటాయి, ఈ విధంగా ఎడ్యుకేషన్ నడుస్తుంది, ఈ విధంగా కొత్త ఇన్నోవేషన్స్ ఉంటాయి, నాకు ఏమీ తెలియదు. కానీ నేను వచ్చినప్పుడు ఏదైతే నా ఫోటోగ్రఫీ ఫీల్డ్ నుంచి నేను నేర్చుకున్నానో, ఎవరికైనా ఏదైనా చేయాలన్న సంకల్పంతో ఎన్నో ఎన్జిఓస్ మేము సపోర్ట్ చేస్తూ వచ్చాం. సో పుల్వామా అటాక్ జరిగిన తర్వాత ఒక 6 నెలలకి మిత్రుడు ఇచ్చిన సలహా ప్రకారం ఒక 5 కలిసి పుల్వామా 1 year యానివర్సరీకి సిఆర్పిఎఫ్ జవాన్ల కోసం అందరూ నిలబడాలని దాదాపుగా 8.5 lakhs పీపుల్ ని ఆల్ ఓవర్ వరల్డ్ నిలబెట్టాము February 14th రోజు. సో ఆ రోజు పెద్ద ప్రోగ్రామ్ కి నాకు లీడింగ్ నుంచి అమెరికా నుంచి హరియాణ అండ్ రామ్ గారు అండ్ అందరూ లీడ్ ఇండియా ఫౌండేషన్ లో అందరూ కూడా నాకు సపోర్ట్ చేశారు. ఆ రోజు హైదరాబాద్ క్లబ్ లో చేసాము, ఆల్ ఓవర్ ఇండియా టోటల్ స్కూల్స్ లో కూడా చేశాము. అది ఇన్స్పిరేషన్ గా తీసుకుని ఇంకా ముందుకు వెళ్ళడానికి ఈ వందే భారత్ అనేది దాదాపు ఒక 2 years బ్యాక్ మనం డిజైన్ చేయడం జరిగింది. దీని ముఖ్య ఉద్దేశం ఏంటి అంటే చాలా మంది యూత్ కి దేశం కోసం చేయాలని ఉంటుంది, కానీ చేయడానికి ఒకరు ముందుండాలి. ఆ ముందుండడానికి మేము ఉండాలనే సంకల్పంతో వచ్చాం. ఇన్నోవేటివ్ ప్రొడక్ట్స్ చేయాలని ఒకటి, అలాగే గ్రామీణ స్థాయిలో టెక్నాలజీ డెవలప్మెంట్ చేయాలని ఒక కాన్సెప్ట్ వెళ్తున్నాం. అంతేకాకుండా చాలా మంది ఎన్నో ప్రయోగాలు చేస్తున్నారు, ఎంతో సక్సెస్ అవుతున్నారు, ఎంతో సేవ చేస్తున్నారు. కనీసం వారిని ఒక వేదిక మీద గుర్తింపు ఇవ్వాలి అనే ఒక సంకల్పంతో ఈ చేయడం జరిగింది. ఇది మాట్లాడుతున్న సమయంలో ఒక రోజు ఆఫీస్ కి రామ్ గారు వచ్చారు. వచ్చినప్పుడు సరే ఇలా అనుకుంటున్నాం అనగానే మరి ఎందుకు అబ్దుల్ కలాం రోజు మనం చేద్దాం ఆ రోజు అని చెప్పి వారు సపోర్ట్ చేయడం జరిగింది. అండ్ సార్ చైర్మన్ సార్ కూడా మాకు బాగా సపోర్ట్ చేశారు వాళ్ళ ఆఫీస్ లో కూడా. థ్యాంక్ యూ వెరీ మచ్ సార్. అండ్ రమ్మ సార్ ఆల్సో థ్యాంక్ యూ వెరీ మచ్. సో అందరి టీం కి కృతజ్ఞతలు చేసుకుంటూ మరి మన కార్యక్రమం లేట్ అవుతుంది కానీ ఇప్పుడు స్టార్ట్ చేద్దాం. థ్యాంక్ యూ వెరీ మచ్. థ్యాంక్ యూ.
Now for the presenting for the Vande Bharat Dr. Kalam Seva Purushkar, I would like to call upon the following guests to the stage. Dr. G.R. Chintala, Founder Chairman NABARD. Professor Bhoga Niraja Prabhakar, our Agricultural University of Telangana Vice Chancellor. Dr. V. Alagar Swami, Vice Chancellor MNR University. Bharat Chandra Maharaj, Chairman EWB India. Professor Prasad Omkar, IIT Hyderabad. Dr. Ravi Shankar. Dr. Sudhakar Agarkar, CEO at Areas. And Dr. Rajiv V. Sharma, Founder, Group MD and CEO, TASA Group. Now I would like the esteemed guests to present the award for Vande Bharat Seva Award to the following awardees. First award is being presented to Mr. Srinivas Saluri, Founder, Manavata Health. Next, we would like to present the award to Dr. G. Shyam Sundar Reddy, CEO, Samhita Crop Care Clinics, Climate Action. Next, the award is presented to His Royal Highness Prince Jagadish Daniti. Sorry for that. Presented to Mansho Ferrer, Director of Programs. Mrs. Sarla Gopalan. Yes. Global Chairman, Agri and Rural Development Agriculture. Sarla Gopalan.
Sorry, not Sarla Gopalan. She is Rajyogini Brahmakumari's Global Chair for Agriculture and Rural Development. Sarla Didi, BK Sarla Didi. On her behalf, sister he is here. Sumangal sister is here from Sangareddy. I request you to take the award on her behalf.
Next award to Krishna Devi, Head CSR Foundation, signed Economic Development.
I think I can request for Dr. Ishrat to take this award on his behalf.
Dr. Ishrat and Murli, both of them can come.
Yeah, please come, both of you.
Next award is presented to Mr. Manav Subodh, founder, entrepreneur, 1M1B.
I don't know anyone is here to take on his behalf. He is our speaker and guest also, but no, I think he is not here.
Next is to Abnishwar Jayaprakash, founder and CEO, Garuda Aerospace Sustainability. The next award is presented to Dr. A. Govardhan,
Rector of
JNTU
Hyderabad. Anybody from JNTU Hyderabad is here? I think Shyam or someone actually spoke. Okay.
Next award has been presented to M.N. Raju, but to take on his behalf, Ravi Verma is there.
Yeah, M.N. Raju. M.N. Raju. Are you checking the name?
Yeah.
So I request the Vice Chancellor of MNR University to receive the award on the behalf of Mr. M.N. Raju, the Chairman of MNR Group of Institutions.
Next award is presented to Sonali Venkatesh, Chief Marketing Officer, Wall Street Group.
And I request Venkatesh also to join her. Sonali is the wife of Venkatesh. Please join her.
Next award is presented to Ms. Madhu Mukunda, Assistant Manager, Quest Global Engineering Services. So Joseph will be taking on her behalf. Next award is being presented to Dr. Prasad Onkar, Associate Professor, IIT Hyderabad.
So I like to just mention Mr. Prasad Onkar is a great inspiration to me, especially. He is able to manage, many programs, very great, extraordinary coordination skills. Thank you, sir. Thank you for inspiring us, and we are really, very blessed with your coordination and support for this event to happen, and a very successful event, as already said by our Chair, Dr. Chintala Garu. Thank you. Next.
Yeah, next award is presented to Mr. Ramalinga Reddy, Executive Member, Lead Foundation Global.
So, of course, I don't really go with the awards, but our Mr. Ramesh wanted all of us to be honored. So, I'm not escaped here. So, I'm taking this award. Thank you.
Next award is presented to Dr. Ishrat Meera Mirzana, Professor, Quality Education.
Read out the next name. There will be an
Next award is presented to Mr. Bharath Rajan Krishna. Okay. Next award is presented to Ms. Kaunen Musabi, Senior Member, Engineers Without Borders.
Is she there?
Okay. Moving forward, M. Susila Grace Padma, Academician, JNTU-TECH.
With your
Next award presented to Sailesh Singhal, co-founder, Youth for Green Hydrogen.
Next, you read out. Next picture.
Raju, that's the name.
So, Mr. Singhal is here all the way from Mumbai. He flew for this event. And thank you, sir. Thank you for coming here. Thank you. Yes, please. Thank you. And he was our leader who actually led our July 27th event, Creating a Livable Planet Earth. He is leading until 2030. He is going to lead us. And thank you very much.
Do you mind if I request the lady who, the lady there who is sitting on the corners,
okay,
if you could please join for the award? It will be an honor for me.
Oh, you want to receive with her hands? Please. Yeah. Please. Not 2 minutes, 30 seconds.
Okay.
I would like Sailesh sir to speak.
First of all, thank you so much to the entire team of Vande Bharath and Lead Global Foundation for honoring a young man at such a beautiful dice. I must tell you, Ella Vunavu. Can't hear. Ella Vunavu? Okay, so there is so much to learn. That means I have to come back to Hyderabad, stay in IIT and brush up on my Telugu skills as well. But I will tell you, thank you so much. This is so inspiring for a young man like me to be here to receive this wonderful award. I must say, Dr. Hari back in America with Dr. Ram here, Sushila ji has commendably led what could be seen in the last few months. And I was speaking with someone who is a former UN advisor, Mr. Ravi, who also recommended. I'm so grateful to him for having me here for this. He is inspired. Why? Because it is the group from the southern part of India who is driving such climate action movements. Let's look at the BK Didis or everyone who is right here. There is so much to learn. On a final quick note, I represent a movement called Youth for Green Hydrogen. And within 6 months, we are present in more than 72 countries and have more than 185 educational institutions signing MOUs from across the world. Along with Mr. Ravi in New York, in US, I was just telling Shushiladi, we have now brought 7 northeastern states together to form the first Northeastern Climate Action Movement, in which just a young man like me is part of. So I think it is a huge scope, and I'm so glad to be here in the IIT Hyderabad campus. Thank you so much once again. Thank you.
Congratulations, sir, and we wish you all the best. And we need your valuable time to create a livable planet Earth.
Thank you.
Yeah, you are part of it already. Thank you.
Next award is presented to Dr. Ravi Shankar, founder AH Ventures. Now we present the award to Dr. Shiva Mahesh, PhD, JAMA Botanics, Private Limited. I would like to present the award to Rajyogini Sarladidi from Bharath.
She's already taken. Already taken. Done. Done.
Next award is presented to Gokula Vasundhara, founder, Weave Medias and Teha. Next award is presented to Dr. Sajida Khan, President Awardee, first female music technician in India. Yeah, Dr. Sajida Khan. Next, we present the award to Sudhir Sandra, psychologist, career counselor. Award is presented to Nikhil Gunda, founder. Presented to Lavanya, administrator, Photo Mama.
Yeah, just from Photo Mama, these are all frames and all these awards, all these really managed by the team of Photo Mama, and we really appreciate the team of Photo Mama for a great work on this.
Yeah, next award is presented to Dr. M. Saratha, founder, Seven Rays Foundation.
The name next.
Yeah. Next award presented to Dr. K. V. Ellen Pavni, advisor to board, MSME Business Forum India, Business Associate, NatSoft Inc. Award is being presented to Dr. Mr. Shrinu Babu, PCMB, Happy Living Interiors. Dr. K. V. Ellen Pavni. Yeah, Shrinu Babu.
We'd like to present the next award to Surya Mantena, Director and CEO of Nalanda and ONLE Educational Institutions.
Next. Read out the next.
The next award is
Award is important. See, everyone is important. I think I would like to have everyone's hand on this. So, one too many hands. The photo off because.
I'd like to present the next award to Suman Rangavashyam, an MD and part of SR Business Solutions.
Read out next.
Okay. And can you please have Bharath Kumar ready, please? The next award is to be presented to Bharath Kumar Kakireni, the Chief Operating Officer for KBK Group. And following him is D. Srinivasachari. Mr. Chari is the Director of KBK Multi-Specialty. Can we have Srimati Monica Yadav ready to come on stage, please? Srimati Monica Yadav is the co-founder of My Food Expert. Can we have KVSN Abhinav ready to come to the stage, please? KVSN Abhinav. Master KVSN Abhinav is a child prodigy and a young tech icon. We have Vijay Kumar Devara Shetty ready to come on stage, please. Mr. Devara Shetty is an entrepreneur and is the founder of Home Total Expert Solutions Private Limited. Can we have Rajashekar Munchi ready to come to stage, please? Mr. Munchi is the founder and global CEO of Global Yaisya Business. Can we have Dr. Siddham Shetty ready to come to stage, please? Siddham Shetty Mahesh Kumar. Can we please have Vinay Adagiri ready to come to stage, please? Mr. Adagiri is the co-founder of Ayrton Living. Can we please have Shravani Chettipalli ready to come to stage, please?
వస్తుంది శ్రావణి మేడం నేను ఒకసారి శ్రావణి గురించి చెప్పాలి శ్రావణి వాళ్ళ గురించి శ్రావణి నేను చెప్తాను ఆమె గురించి చెప్తాను వస్తుంటారు
హాయ్ అండి అందరికి ఒక చిన్నగా ఏంటంటే మనకి వైద్యం అనేది చాలా కమర్షియల్ గా చాలా సార్లు మనం వింటూ ఉంటాం కానీ హాస్పిటల్ ఓపెన్ చేసిన కొత్తలోనే 1,00,000 మందికి కార్డ్స్ ఇస్తూ వారందరి ఆరోగ్యానికి కూడా వాళ్ళు కంప్లీట్ గా తీసుకుంటూ గ్రామీణ స్థాయిలో చేస్తున్నారు. శ్రావణి హాస్పిటల్స్ అంటే అక్టోబర్ 5th ఓపెన్ అయింది. సో వాళ్ళు గ్రామీణ స్థాయిలో కూడా కంప్లీట్ గా సెమినార్స్ కండక్ట్ చేస్తూ వాళ్ళ ఆరోగ్యం కోసం అసలు అంటే ఒక ఎథికల్ గా ఉండాలి అని ఒక హాస్పిటల్ ఓపెన్ చేస్తారు శ్రావణి హాస్పిటల్. థ్యాంక్ యూ మ్యామ్, థ్యాంక్ యూ వెరీ మచ్.
Can I please have Vinay Adagri come to stage, please?
Double, I think double. Next.
Can I please have D. Niharika Reddy come to stage, please? And can I have Santi Naveed ready to come to stage as well? D. Niharika Reddy is a mentor for UPSC, and she is part of the IAS Academy. Can I please have Kanti Naveen come to stage, please?
Come, you only come. You only change. Come. Let people come and go. Then you.
Can I please? Okay. The award is now being presented to Kanti Naveed, the founder of Digital Shout. Can I please have Shri Bhadra Madinuri ready to come on stage, please? Shri Bhadra Madinuri is a motivational speaker. Can I please have M. Shivakumar ready to come to stage, please? M. Shivakumar is the organization secretary of Amsara.
I request Mr. Rajinder Singh Lamba to come onto the stage and receive the award. And Rajinder Singh Lamba is part of the Lead Foundation Global and helping us, actually mentoring us. He's really guiding force for all of us. And then Mr. Bhujangarao, who is right hand to the organization, and he's helping us. Brother Lamba, you want to say 30 seconds?
Thank you very much to all the organizer and our team. I think this is the beginning of the game and there is a lot more to do in future. And I hope the kind of presentation today have been done in the stage, on the stage is marvelous, fantastic. कभी-कभी मुझे ये लगता है अब्दुल कलाम साहब के बारे में कि ये रात ना महकती अगर सितारे न होते, ये रात ना महकती अगर सितारे न होते, लहरें भी भटकती अगर किनारे न होते, कहाँ जाते हम फरियाद लेकर अगर जिंदगी में कलाम साहब जैसे सहारे न हो, कहाँ जाते हम फरियाद लेकर अगर जिंदगी में कलाम साहब जैसे सहारे न हो. Thank you very much, Sindra साहब and all the team. Thank you so much.
సార్ ఒక్క నిమిషం ఉండండి పోస్టర్ లాంచ్ ప్లీజ్ సార్ పోస్టర్ లాంచ్ సార్ ఇక్కడ ఒక చిన్న కార్యక్రమం 2 స్టేట్స్ లో మేము చేయబోతున్నాం. సుధీర్ సాంద్ర పర్సనాలిటీ డెవలపర్ అండ్ నిఖిల్ గుండా నేను కలిసి 30 days 2 స్టేట్స్ లో నవంబర్ 16th నుంచి డిసెంబర్ 16th వరకు మనోవిజ్ఞాన యాత్ర ఒక కాన్సెప్ట్ చేస్తూ గృహిణులకి పిల్లలకి అలాగే కాలేజ్ స్టూడెంట్స్ అందరికీ కూడా ఎలా ఉండాలి దాని గురించి ఎలా అనే దాని గురించి మొత్తం మనోవిజ్ఞాన యాత్ర చేస్తున్నాం. పోస్టర్ లాంచింగ్ చేస్తుందిగా గెస్ట్లందరినీ కోరుతున్నాం ప్లీజ్.
We want to also honor a couple of our guests on the stage. Professor Bhoga Nirja Prabhakar. I request Ramesh to give a memento to Professor. So, Professor Nirja Prabhakar Garu is the Vice Chancellor of Horticulture University of Telangana. I request the awards team, Professor Nirja Prabhakar Garu. And then Professor Vice Chancellor of MNR University, Alagar Swami. So we want to honor our guests also. And Bharat Chandra Maharaj, Chairman EWB India. Then Dr. Sudhakar Agarkar. So we want Sridhar Kumar Vemula. If you are here, please come, sir. Yeah, we missed you earlier, I believe. Yeah. So now the guests, we want to honor our Vice Chancellor, Horticulture Nirja Prabhakar Garu. Then Professor Alagar Swami from MNR University, the Vice Chancellor. And
Ram garu mere trend ఇంకొకరిని మిస్ అయ్యారా? ఎవరైనా మిస్ అయ్యారా? ప్లీజ్
A very good evening to all, my dear friends, student friends, and staff, faculty of IIT, and today's organizers for today's event. I want to quote one thing. I actually worked for ISCA 2006 Indian Science Congress. At that time, for Children's Science Congress, so our President of India, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam garu was so I worked in that committee. So after the function, so I took the autograph. So what Honorable ex-President he wrote, APJ Abdul Kalam garu is, you ignite the minds of youngsters and youth. So that is the most powerful resource on the earth, above the earth, under the earth. That means it is universal. So that those are the powerful words that are there. So always used to teach the students. So I am in teaching law since last 15 years, and last 2 years I am in administration as a vice chancellor of Horticultural University. That is the Sri Kondalakshman Telangana Horticultural University, situated at Mulugu, Siddipeta district. So this is dealing with the research, education, and extension in the field of horticulture. So as a part of the new education policy, that is 2020, so we are going to see a big sea change, that is in education system, as I said before, and today already the sustainable development goals of that is the fourth, so for achieving the quality of education. So it is going to be a multidisciplinary approach. One thing, that is multiple this entry and exit, irrespective of their subject, that is entry. So a student can you can prefer as e-wish. So that is the one thing, Shirish. Then one more thing is we entered the ICR education system recently entered into the that MOU with Shanti Kanha Banam, that is a Heartfulness Education Trust Institute. That is introduction of the yoga and meditation as a part of the curriculum at UZ level. At UZ level, you know that. So this is a yoga and meditation. It brings so that is as I said before in the which brings the emotional balance to achieve the success in their career, which is much more important. So I wish you all the best for today's awardees. Congratulations and many wishes to all of you. I thank organizers for giving this opportunity. Thank you, Mananda.
Thank you, madam. And a few more minutes. We don't want, already so many people are leaving. We thought we can take a group photo, but so many people are leaving. Please stay back. We will take a good group photo. And our guests also, whoever are here, we will honor them with a memento. Yeah, please, Yeah, Dr. Our chairman, Dr. G.R. Chintala Garu is here. Please give a standing ovation. We will honor him. He's a man who just retired as the chairman of NABARD, and he is now gracing us to lead Lead Foundation Global and make it, lead in India as a global power.
Only Ram is smiling.
I request all awardees also to join us, please. All awardees who have. No. Please join in the photo.
Very nice.
Can I call on Professor Boga Meeraja Prabhakar? Dr. V. Alagar Swami?
Yeah, give the payment.
Swami sir, please. Yeah, get it.
On the stage.
Alagar Swami sir. May I have that speech? No.
Bharat Chandra Maharaj? Dr. Ravi Shankar?
Yeah, done.
Okay. Dr. Siddhartha Agarkar? Dr. Rajiv B. Sharma.
Yes.
Ramesh Athanapalli.
Yeah, Ramesh Athanapalli.
Most resource. Come. I need your friends to kneel down. Please, left and right. Balance.
Bhujanga R. Bhujanga R.
Please come. Next one, your
Dr. Venkat Reddy Rumali.
Thank you, sir.
వైట్ కోట్ వేసుకుని నాకు ఇవ్వలేదు సార్కి వైట్ కోట్ వేసుకున్న సార్ ఇక్కడ ఉన్నట్టు ఇవ్వలేదు అనుకుంటున్నాను
సుధాకర్ గారు
This is mine one. We can give.
సుధాకర్ గారికి
This is mine one. We can give. Acha, yes. Oh, thank you. Yes. Paula.
Dr. Sudhakar Agarkar.
हाँ ठीक है सर
ఇంకా అందరికి అయిపోయింది ఇంకా కంప్లీట్ అందరికి అయింది సార్ క్లియర్ చేసుకున్నారు సరే ఇప్పుడైతే అందరికి ఇచ్చాము అక్కడ అందరికి వచ్చినాయి
Now I think there is one more small honor. Mr. Singhal wanted to, Shailesh Singhal wanted to. Please go ahead, sir. And
Come,
whatever
Shailesh,
you
come.
wanted, please. You first be, first come.
Rendi,
So I come from the foothills of Darjeeling, that is Siliguri, and the girls and women there have prepared this. I mean, we call it khada, the cloth that we just honor around the neck for people who are doing great work. I didn't know so many great people will be there. I have sufficient, but please don't mind if I recycle for a while now. So, yeah. I will recycle.
It's not leaving him.
Then you leave this. It's okay.
After that, I'm sure we don't know what to be secretary.
Please.
You better put it for everyone and take one photo.
Okay, fine. Is the sufficient quantity?
Whatever number you have.
Yeah, it's okay. They are all good people.
All good people know.
So,
That's all we are one people. Come sing. Yes, you can have it.
Ramesh sir, please. Ma'am, please.
Ramesh, come.
Come, please come. I will maybe give this to both of you. This is prepared from the waste paper and the food that the cows eat. So I'll prepare it to the organizers of the and to the Vande Bharat and to all of you.
Anybody else? ఇది మైక్ ఉంది తీసుకో.
Yeah.
So total on mix. So can we take total together?
Actually, I'm happy and also I feel very bad about one thing because this is IIT campus Hyderabad. It's a proud thing and a proud place also. But here we don't have accessibility. It's a very disappointing thing. Say to sorry, but highly disappointed actually. These 3 ways, we have 3 ways, but no ramp and everything. Because ఇక్కడ మేము రామా అసలు ఇంక్లూజన్ లేదా యాక్చువల్లీ because there's a thing
Good suggestion.
Yes, good suggestion. Good suggestion.
I'm requesting the people
Yes.
this campus, so everywhere please make accessible. Thank you, because I'm a journalist and I'm running a event management company. I completed my PG in mass communication and journalism. Okay, I achieved a lot, but one step is stopping me. So that is my request. Thank you.
Thank you.
I request all of you to join us for a group photograph, please.
Ram sir,
Yeah.
we can have one first photograph, then we have the concept. Okay.
Yes. కొంచెం రామ్ సార్ కొద్దిగా వెనక జరగండి. ఓకే.
Now I think everybody can come and we can have a photograph and then we can end. Please. Come. Yeah, that's what.
Please.
Yeah. Come everybody fast.
And not to actually undermine our volunteers. We really respect you all for a great work from IIT and also from the other side, whoever worked hard for this. We want to definitely honor you, but we are short of mementos. We will definitely get back to you with good mementos, and we appreciate all of your spirit. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all.
Friends, please join in. Close the online
Zoom.
Thanks to all the volunteers.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, you tell. You tell.
We are done.
You just read out.
Special thanks to Chaitra, Megha, Ananya, Nilesh. Special thanks to all the volunteers from IIT Hyderabad campus.
People are very busy. We definitely come to your institute and
I will stand here. You take photo. Yes. Final one. It is better to start. Who is going to see this photo? See our principal.
రాకపోయినా ఏం కాదు తీరా స్వామి మేము అట్ట రాగానే
రెడీ సార్
ఫోటో మామా బాయ్ మామా ఫోటో నన్ను ఎవరు పట్టుకోవట్లేదు
yeah. Volunteers, please come on to the stage. All volunteers, please come on to the stage. All volunteers, Chaitra, Ananya, and Shailesh.
Absolutely
Everyone, please come on to the stage. All the volunteers.
Please.
It's pleasure working. Yeah, Bharath sir.
Award section, like just give the bottle. Play that bottle, please. That's more.
No, I don't want to have
Anybody else?
That bottle. Same bottle.
Yeah, please come. We have some more.
Yes. We have momentum. I will come to the college and give. The signatures is finished. I don't want to give without signature. Right, sir. Thank you very much. We have a couple of more also. You are there, right? We need to give to you, right? No?
Anybody else? We can give them.
Photography.
Yes.
So, the great photo. Yeah, sorry we couldn't write your name.
Yes. If miss also we can send some.
Yes, sir.
Definitely.
Yes, sir. Your program is absolutely fantastic, sir. There is one more volunteer. This your number?
It's stop the streaming. The streaming is still on.
Recording also. Prasad sir. Recording and streaming up. మీరు నేనే ఉన్నాం.
Almost last 40 years we have been talking.
It's here.
We have